Hey guys, and welcome to LITTLEBLACKBOOK91. Yes, we are sitting down with Carmen from Lamdc, Love and Marriage DC, and you might also remember her. She was also on Ready to Love as well. Listen, we're gonna have one of those great conversations and get deep. Really get deeper with some of the topics that have been grappling, that we've seen Carmen in Love and Marriage. I mean, there was a question about the throuple situation. There's been seeing you, obviously, with Clifton on the show, Ready to Love, when you originally had that connection as well. We want to tackle it all today, right? But we also want to get to know you as well. So I believe it's going to be a great conversation today. But first and foremost, Carmen, how are you doing today? And thank you for joining us today.
I'm doing amazing. I know it's long overdue. Ready to love, now love and marriage. So I'm DC, DMV bound. Everybody knows that. I'm the villain of most of the shows. I don't know how it happens, but I'm here.
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, we've had our run-ins. But we met last year as well. Last 2 years almost, it feels like, or last year, I can't remember. In DC, and we had our little sit down and conversation as well. So I appreciate that. I got to see a different side of you.
Yes, because let me tell the audience, literally, me and him can go back and forth, and like on IG, like blah 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 blah. But in person, we were like, "What up?" It was like we've been friends forever. But when we get back online, it's a whole different
thing. What she means is, I've been giving her trouble on IG. So listen, we're gonna have one of those great conversations. I can't wait to kind of chop things up as well. But before we get to any kind of conversation, we do a thing called human verification, just to make sure that you're not AI or a robot. You know what I'm saying? Because you're looking good, but you could be. We want to make sure. You know what I mean? So we have to make sure. So here's one of my questions. Mm-hmm. If you have an open plane ticket to anywhere in the world, would you want to go and why?
I'm probably gonna go to somewhere like Bora Bora. I'm gonna stay for 2 weeks. I'm gonna have one of those little huts in the middle of the little ocean where you just have the maids and the people come up and bring the food to you. The sun basking on my skin, being on the beach, seeing clear waters, and just get away from everyone and everything.
Definitely hear that. I love that. I haven't been Bora Bora myself, but it sounds beautiful to go as well. All right, second question. Android or iPhone?
Even though green means go, don't you come green over here, okay? I don't want you in my chat. I don't want you in nothing. I'm sorry. I am iPhone everything.
I hear you. I hear you. Third question that we have: cereal or the milk in the bowl first?
What? People put milk in the bowl first? No.
Hey, yes.
No, you get the bowl out the cabinet, you put the cereal in, and you put the milk in. And you wait for a little bit because, you don't want it too crunchy, but you don't want it too soggy.
Okay, I'm with you. What cereal, if you were to have any cereal, I'm sure, what cereal would you want to have?
I like Honey Nut Cheerios because it has like a little sweetness, but it's healthy and it's good for your heart.
I didn't know they did Honey Nut Cheerios over there, I thought it was a British thing.
Stop it. You want to claim everything. Stop it. No.
I really did think it was a British thing. I don't think you guys ate that kind of stuff.
And the kiddies, like when you have kids, I don't think you have kids right now, but when you have kids, a lot of families will just take a little small bag of Cheerios as a snack for the kids.
It's given Africa and Caribbean. I can't lie to you. That's what they would do. Yeah, it's given. No. It's given that. All right, cool. You've passed our human verification. Thank you very much. We believe you're a human being. And you're looking very lovely today as well, I must say.
Thank you.
Loving the orange. Let's get to know you a bit better, Carmen, because I'm not going to lie to you. When we first obviously connected, we were at war. Okay? All right? It was all at war. Yeah, it was.
It was.
I told you how beautiful you were, but it was all at war. We was going at it.
What was the first battle though? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It was definitely your Ready to Love season, and I'm trying to remember what happened. It might have been the date that you had. Oh, it was Donovan.
It was Donovan. No, you know what? I bet I know what it was. I think you're wrong. I believe that it was when I was in the kitchen with the Kia and Eric.
Oh yeah, because you came in there like a wrecking ball. You came in there to wreck people's things. I can't lie to you. I said it. I put it in. I said she'd wrecked everybody's thing. I remember that. What actually happened with that situation? No, let me stop. Let me stop. I was gonna jump in.
I think that's the first time I seen you. Like, okay, she came in. I was like, oh, he judging me. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, because at first I was like, "Oh, Carmen came like a, she came in, she bad," and then I said, "No, but she bad now," because it just looked like she bad. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. I do remember that as well. That season was crazy. God damn. But listen. Before we get to any of that stage, let's talk a little bit about you because I want to get to know you. I know you're an accomplished woman, and you've achieved many, many, many things. So let's get to know you a bit better, right? So
Okay.
outside of Ready to Love, outside of reality TV, Love and Marriage DC, outside of you being, I think he was on. What was I seeing? Was I seeing you on CBS? Was I seeing you on CBS? Where was I
Fox
seeing you?
5 News,
Fox
DC.
Five. I've been seeing you. You've been doing your thing. Outside of those things, let's get to know you a bit better. So my question, I'm sure you're aware what I'm going to ask. Who is Carmen? And what is Carmen's story?
Hmm. Okay, Carmen is born and raised in Loudoun County, which is Northern Virginia. Because we're so close to DC, we normally say DC because if we say Virginia, people think Richmond, and it's like 2.5 hours away. So I'm in Northern Virginia, raised by a single mother. Thank you, Mom. And my parents couldn't afford for me to go to college, but I wanted an education and I wanted to travel. So I went into the Air Force. I'm a disabled Air Force veteran. I served at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa Bay, Florida. And I got my education. I got my bachelor's and I got my master's in business and government acquisitions. And I did a lot of tours, 9/11, Hurricane Katrina. And I had a beautiful son, which is my son, Malachi. He's 18 now. And I came back to my roots. I was in Florida. Florida was a little too slow for me. My nails was too blinging and all that stuff. I came back to home because I knew that my family, this is my home base. And I worked for the government. And then I started working with athletes. So I worked with Max Scherzer, one of the number one baseball players. I worked with Santana Moss, Vernon Davis, and so many others. That was not my profession, but somehow God was like, I want you to go over there. So when you talk about, being in the industry, being with these mega stars, these legends that people look up to, I was behind the scenes, so I already knew that life when I came in the scene. When I came back, I was just dedicated on finishing my education and making sure my son was thriving. He is going to be the future president in 2040. He knew that at 8. You can Google him, Malachi Felder. And track, so high school, track, basketball, a little volleyball. I always had a better relationship with guys based on I was athlete. Also, I was in the military, which is predominantly men. And then I went into the manager of athletes. So that's kind of how I transitioned into where I'm at now.
Wow. Like I said, accomplished woman, and I appreciate you sharing that. And I genuinely mean that. You know what I mean? So obviously, like I said, you transitioned into obviously, I guess, almost helping athletes and managing them in a sense as well. Take me back then, because I'm gonna go there. So take me back, yeah, because we know you're accomplished. What we see now, the poise and the elegance, the grace. We see all of that, and you've also done some tours, and we really appreciate the time that you spent serving your country as well, right? So take me back though. Carmen, as a young individual growing up, as a young girl, what you're seeing now, you look back, was that the plan for you as a young girl? Did you think that this was all going to be part of your life, or did you have another plan in your head as a very young girl?
No, this was planned but unplanned. So my mom will tell you her famous story that she'll tell you. She'll tell you that, Carmen would put on lip gloss and lotion, and she'd be like, "Where are you going, girl?" And I'd be like, "I'm taking the trash out." She'd like, and so she would say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to be a model and I want to be a businesswoman." I couldn't articulate exactly what that meant, the end goal, but I knew I wanted to do business. I wanted to model, right? Which modeling is kind of in the scene, right? Of course, I'm only like 5'7", so modeling can go only so far. Now I could do that, but it could only go so far. But businesswoman, I definitely knew that at a young age. And my family is old school, so I knew that I had to embrace and find it on my own. My mom didn't have the background to put me in that arena. So that's why I knew I needed college, and I couldn't afford it. And that's why I went in the Air Force. But during that, I am from, at that point, a small town in Loudoun County. So I'm from Loudoun County. It's the richest county in the United States. I'm proud to say that. But it's only 4% Black people. So I had to learn going into the military that everyone isn't nice and everyone isn't good and everyone doesn't have the best intentions. And I had to learn to have tough skin. So at first I kind of went in like, oh, everyone's nice. Oh, you can borrow this. Oh, you can do this. So you can do that. And then I realized, okay, I'm the only nice one here. So my tough skin comes from learning by failure or, seeing it up front. In the military, I had to embrace people from all across the world, especially when I was traveling to, Qatar or Diego Garcia was in the middle of the Indian Ocean. I traveled places that I would have never thought of, and I had to learn how to adapt. So I'm easy to adapt, and I'm very competitive.
I definitely hear that, especially the competitive part. So and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. In life, life is a competition, as they say. So those who strive to gold shall receive gold, they say. Okay, so you talk obviously about your going into the military, obviously as well having to even like I said being competitive, having to have tough skin. Talk to us a little bit about the adversity then having to travail, especially as a Black woman and being in that space, and having to be in the military, and like I said, as a woman too. That's you got a few intersectionalities going on in that space. So when you say obviously you had to have tough skin, what were you facing in those times and those seasons, apart from just people not being nice to you? But what were you having to face in those moments?
Well, in those moments, I had to face that based on rank structure. You had to do things that you may be smarter or have more wisdom or have more experience, but because someone outranks you, you have to follow orders. So I do believe in rank structure. I do believe in someone who has worked hard for where they're at. Even though I may not like them, I have to respect them. And it was predominantly men. So I went through this little experience of, okay, I was too nice. And I was too nice. They're like, oh, she likes me. Then I was mean and they're like, oh, she's spicy. I'm like, I can't do anything right. So then I realized, Carmen, just be you, right? Because it's like I was trying to fit every little mold that someone would bring to me, and it would backfire. If I'm too nice, then I'm flirting. If I'm mean, then they find a way to make it sexy. I'm spicy. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be me, and I'm going to be very transparent, authentic, and honest when I'm dealing with people. So I learned that, but I had to learn it through several experiences, and it was hard because I didn't want to be friends because of that. I don't want to be friends with someone because I'm sexy. I want to be friends because someone likes me. They're like, I love your story. I love who you are as a human being. And in the military, it's like for every one woman, there's like 10 men, right? So everywhere you go, especially when you're going overseas, it's like, hi, 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 hi. And for someone with low self-esteem, thank God my mom and daddy didn't raise nobody with low self-esteem, that can be like a horrible situation. So I really had to navigate through that situation. So I have learned and I have become who I am by traveling also. There were positive things, traveling different places, trying different foods, listening to different music, seeing different art. I learned a lot to become who Carmen is today.
I love the fact you said that, and I guess I'm kind of intrigued because I always find it intriguing. Like when you mention about being nice and that being taken as they like you, and then being mean, that's coming off spicy. How, and then obviously like being yourself. Okay, once you obviously found being yourself, I'm sure that might have started to work. But how then, going, and I think, okay, my question is here because this was in my head. Obviously, you said you grew up with your mother, as a single mother, right? How did you feel being in a space? I know you got on with boys a bit better, but being dominated in an arena where there's majority men, especially when it comes to authority and rank, how did you navigate that, Phil? Did that make you think about life a bit differently? Did you have to reassess how you saw life? Because I can imagine that that's a different kind of space and arena to be in, from being with your mum, single mother, and then going into that particular arena. I know you were around boys, but still, it's a completely different environment in that sense. Did that have any impact on you in that sense at all?
I had to do a lot of soul searching. I really did. I had to understand how people move, the motives of why they move, and not take it personal. I had to have blinders on, focus in on my goals, and move in that way. So, for example, I would go TDY, which TDY, for people who don't know, is like you're at a base in the United States. I'm at DC, a base in DC, the Pentagon. And they're like, oh, we're going to send you to Qatar or Bahrain. I would go there. I would be the only woman. And they would be walking fast through the airports. They would have rendezvous. We're going to meet up at 0800, 10 o'clock, whatever. And they would not include me. And so I was like, okay, these are people who outrank me. I can't really say anything. However, like, I don't know what I'm doing. So guess what that makes me? That makes me very like direct on, okay, I need to find my own map. I need to find my own way. I need to know what I'm doing. I cannot depend on others. So in that way, I was like, okay, what I would normally think is, come on, Carmen, come on in. We're going to meet at this time. And if you're a little late, I'm going to make sure we wait for you. No. That's not what happened. So I had to make sure I knew every location on bases, every obstacle, what time was this, what time was that, to make sure I was taken care of. And that made me very independent.
That is really interesting. It's kind of sad, obviously, that you had to experience that. Just because, again, sometimes these things do happen, but as a woman, as a black woman too, like you got to experience that. That is not a nice thing to have gone through. But it's interesting that you mentioned as well, kind of like having to now develop this kind of keen sense of independence. Did you already have some level of independence though, growing up in a single parent household? Like, I don't know, I'm actually kind of assuming that. I know you grew up with your mother, but I don't know if it's a single parent household. I should never assume that. But did you already have a sense of independence before you went into the kind of military? So it's kind of almost like you've almost kind of like transferred that on, or was it something that you more kind of keenly developed a little bit later on?
Well, when you're a part of team sports, well, track is not really a team sport unless you're on a relay team. But I ran track, so that was more independent. You're trying to beat your highest score, right? Your highest number. Basketball, of course, is a team sport. I do feel like being a part of sports is key, especially to women, because you have to see that this person is great as a point guard. This person is great as a three-pointer, right? It was no jealousy because I'm a part of a team. So I would throw it to a three-pointer. Girl, put that three-pointer up and we good, right? Or if we hitting down to the court, they're going to throw it to me because I'm fast. I'm going to do a layup, right? So with sports, I really realized that you are individual, be great at what you are, but you are also part of a team. So if the team wins, we all win, right? So with my mom, she was very loving, very spiritual, religious. My mom is religious. Okay. So I was brought up on knowing Bible verses and knowing what to do in life and how to treat people, and also knowing just how to be a good person and using the Bible in day-to-day situations. Because really, when it comes down to it, every situation there's a Bible verse that you can go to that help you get through the situation.
Definitely hear that. Definitely hear about the Bible verse as well. As a Christian myself, that definitely comes into hand as well with the wisdom in that essence as well. Okay, so and you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to. What was it like then? What was it like growing up in a home with your mother then? Was your father in the home at the time when you were growing up, or was he outside already?
He was in and outside.
How did you process that?
I processed it like anybody else would. You put people in their position and you figure out how to deal with that.
That's interesting. So you just put them in a position and process it, just like that. That's intriguing. I find that intriguing because obviously, like, I grew up in a two-parent household, mom and dad, and even for me, it's I always say to the audience that even with two-parent households, there's complications because even when you grow up with a dad and a mom, there are times and seasons that you're not even being seen, let alone heard. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So when you say, obviously, you're put someone in their position, what does that mean for you when you say you put them in their position?
I didn't say this. I am an only child. So all the attention is going to go on me at all times.
So what is
it doesn't matter their position. When the attention is there, it's going to go be on me.
Okay. So when you say, so what did you mean by the term put them in position? So I understand where you're coming from. Sorry, I suppose you asked that correctly. When you say you putting people in their position, when it came to, obviously, like I said, mom and dad, what does that actually mean? So we can understand that.
Well, it's almost like in a management situation, right? At a Starbucks, right? Susie is the cashier. Tom is the manager, right? Barbara does stock room, right? So you know exactly what they do. If you think that Barbara's going to be at the cashier stand, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure, right? You find out what that person is good at and what they do, and you leave them in that position. And then if you expect anything else, you have to put it on yourself.
Okay, no, I get that. I actually do get that. That's a bit. It's a bit. That's compartmentalizing almost in a sense, almost kind of, to have them in position like that, which I get.
You men do it all the time.
We do.
Women don't usually do it. I'm very good
and that's
at
what I'm finding intriguing. I would even still find intriguing even if a man was doing it, because you're doing it at a very young age, I'm assuming. So you're already putting people in position at a very young age. Isn't that like that's a quite an advanced kind of mindset to kind of have at a very young age when it comes to parents? If you get if you get what I'm saying, my drift in a sense. It's an advanced kind of thinking. Like if you said that when you're older, I would understand. But to say that almost in a sense of as a child is almost as if I felt like there was the emotion had been taken from the situation already. Like you just processed it without no emotion, which is quite intriguing.
Well, I don't know. It depends on the individual. I'm a data type person. I see what I see and I know what I know, right? If you use your senses through seeing, right? Tasting, hearing, right? Touching. If you use your senses at most situations, you'll be good.
Nah, Carmen, you know I love you. Come on. you know I love you. what? Let me ask. That is not what I was asking. You know not what I was asking. I'm trying to. Okay, listen. I'm trying to understand
I
because
know you're trying to break it down more than what I already broke it down. I think I broke it down pretty
yeah,
good.
because I felt like you added to it, not even break it down.
I gave you knowledge though.
But we don't need
Use your
knowledge.
senses
We
to
need
figure out things.
understanding. No, we need understanding. Knowledge is
I
good,
don't.
but we need understanding.
I think everyone understands it. I don't see anyone saying.
No, they're not saying that. They're not saying that. I'm saying for me personally, we're trying to understand this position, right? Because for a
No, I
young
think you're
child,
trying to like. What
why do you think
animal
I'm
are
doing
you?
that?
What animal are
Why do
you?
you think I'm doing that?
Because you like to dig into stuff and listen. We can go all day. We
But,
can go
but
all day. I answered
no,
the question.
no. Which I want to be able to, I want to be able to understand it fully in a sense of, because again from a young child perspective, right?
Mhm.
When you go through something like that, it can be very
What is
difficult.
that? What is that? What am I going through? So I understand.
As in, like you said, obviously, growing up in a single parent household, father obviously isn't necessarily in the home. So I was just trying to
Oh,
understand the
well, okay. What
process
you don't
thinking.
know is I had a great grandmother and a great grandfather, and I had both of my grandparents at that point on my dad's side, my mom's side, and I feel like if we think of the institution of how things are supposed to be and the idea of how things are supposed to be, you will be let down. It's supposed to be this, this, and this. It's the fairy tales we read all the time, right? The man's supposed to ride in on the white horse and he's supposed to sweep you off your feet, right? If that was not there, would you think that is supposed to happen? Probably
No,
not.
no, you'd adjust.
So it's like we see things that on TV and we read, and we're supposed to think this is what life means and it indicates happiness. We've all of us have figured out there's a way to be happy with some of the things we thought meant happiness, right? My mom gave me a lot of love. My grandparents were great. I was living on farmland. We were, getting eggs from the chicken coop. We were, having a great time. I can't say that that was something that I was like, where's dad? Right. And when my dad was there, he was great. So I don't know what you want me to like indicate. If you explain a little bit more, I'll go a little deeper.
No, I think you kind of touched it. It was more of a case of I was looking for the emotion within that situation. You kind of were bridging the gap slightly by kind of, and the word that you kind of used there is that I think the word was. Did you use the word disappointment? I don't know if you used the word disappointment. I can't
No,
remember
no,
what word you
no,
used.
no,
What was the word
no,
that you
no, no.
used?
I didn't. I
I
don't
can't
think I
remember what.
did.
No, I don't think it was that. It was another word. I think there was another word that you used, which kind of touched on the emotional aspect, and I think that's where I'm trying to get to, right? Because any child, of course, you know, in that situation, there are going to be emotions that child kind of feels. And I guess I was trying to tap into the emotional aspect of that component in that place, rather than maybe the lesson from it. I was more trying to find out in the immediate moment what was the thought process at that time. So yeah, I was thinking to myself that there would be some kind of thought process as a young girl. This might be happening. That might be that as things are happening at the time you might have had. So that's why I was kind of touching on that a little bit more, just to kind of see, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I really had a good time with my mom and my grandparents. It was natural fun. It was laying out on the grass. It was making mud pies, thinking I was cooking real pies. I was really a country girl if you really think about it. The cows and the deer and picking berries. So I really, I didn't have like, there wasn't much TV. I really didn't get to eat sweets. I think the the sweet that I was excited about was butter pecan ice cream, and that isn't even that sweet if you think about it. I still don't eat sweet to this day. It was drinking water. We caught the fish, we scaled the fish, and we cooked the fish. So the days were a little bit longer, and I don't think people know that about me. Is it was like I love nature, and that's what was okay with me at that time.
I hear that. I hear that. Okay, so talk to me. Coming, obviously getting older, and then, you know, going into to high school, and people go to college, university, whatever. Tell us about Carmen growing up then in that space now. In high school, going into to college as well. What is Carmen like at that point then?
You know what? I was like probably a popular oddball, if that makes sense, right? Because I'd be popular in school, right? But then they'd be like, "Oh, we having a party," and my mom was like, she's like, "Oh, I don't know they mama, I don't know they daddy." I'm like, "Mama, you don't even go out. How they gonna get to know you?" It was like one of those catch-22. It's like, "Mom, you don't even go out, so how they gonna know you, right?" But she's like, "I'm not going over to somebody's house I don't know." She was very old school. That's when America's Most Wanted was on, okay? And child abduction, white vans was like everywhere. So I was like in the school, I was like, walking down the hallway, what up? But then get home, Mom, there's a sleepover. I don't know that child. Who? So it was a weird situation. I was popular at school, track, like I said, volleyball, basketball. But then at home is like, let's read this scripture and you better discern it and tell me what it means when at the end of we after rereading it. And so it was a calm and a storm, you couldn't have a boyfriend early on type thing. Um, but at the end of the day, I'm so blessed that she instilled that in me, because all the fast girls, you know what I'm saying, they are on a whole different plane than I am. So I was popular, but then I was sheltered.
Did you ever find yourself breaking out of that molding? 'Cause what, some of us kids that get sheltered or get strict parents, did you find yourself having that rebellion phase? Did you ever get to that place for yourself?
Well, I mumbled a couple times, but you mumble one good time, you better not mumble again. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, Papa. It's like, I really was into magazines. That's when magazines was kind of in. Okay, you a little bit younger than I am. I was into magazines. I'm gonna read all the beauty tips. I'm gonna HBO was just coming out. I'm just trying to sneak on TV. You know what I'm saying? No, I didn't do too much until I was ready to get out there and go in the military and explore the world.
Okay, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. So obviously, like I said, you couldn't have a boyfriend. One was a bit strict then. When did Carmen get her first boyfriend? Then what's her first love? When did the first love happen? Huh? What
Oh,
was it
I snuck
like?
a boyfriend in middle school. I snuck a boyfriend, at the skating rink. You know what I'm saying? You skating around. Oh, hey, what's up? But it really wasn't a real boyfriend. So I really didn't have full life experiences until I was in the military.
So was your first partner in the military?
I think you need to mind your business.
Wow, wow.
I
So
said what I
we
said.
talking about partners now.
You came out with it so slick though. I was,
I'm just
you know
saying.
what?
I'm just trying to find out. I just want to
You
understand.
like,
I just want to understand. You know what I mean? Okay, which partner can you talk about any? Okay, what relationship meant the most to you then? What romantic partner meant the most to you and why? As in when I should say, okay, let me rephrase it because you've got a partner right now. So let me say this: who did you learn the most from? Because I'll have to rephrase it because just in case we don't want any trouble for you. So who would you say that you learned the most from in terms of relationship wise?
I don't. I never. That's a good question. I never looked at learning from a partner. I look at growth in your situation, because sometimes when you're with a partner, you can be slower or faster, right? You could be at a new job, you could be in a new experience learning something, and they may not be at that point, or sometimes they are accelerating, and you like, what is this? What is that? You know, sushi and caviar, and they coming home talking about this stuff, and then you're like, who are you, right? Or it could be vice versa. So I never look at it learning from a partner. I say it's more just the moment in life, you know, a stage in life that you grew more in that area. Of course, I'm going to say it would be my son's father, because my son was born out of that, and he's my blessing and he's my legacy. So I would always say that my son's father brought me my son, right? And I wouldn't have my son without him. So I wouldn't say I learned anything from him. I would say that I'm blessed that God created my son with me and my husband.
Okay. Now, as you mentioned, you got married, right?
I gave you that clue. Don't act like that. Don't do that.
I mean, you got married, right?
Don't do that. I gave
married,
you.
right?
I gave you that.
You got. That's what I'm saying. You got. I want to make sure I heard correctly. So I heard husband. So you know.
Yeah, when I was in the military, I met my son's father. My son's name is Malachi. I met my son's father, and we got married, and we had my son Malachi.
Can I ask, obviously, because you've still been quite young, what your mindset was like and why you decided to go into marriage?
Um, Really, at that point, it was companionship. It was companionship. You have to understand, coming from home, coming from stability, you're going out. And then I went to the South. I mean, some people may say Virginia's the South. It's not really the South. It's where I'm at. It's not the South. But guess what? My ex-husband was from the South. He was from Mississippi. So it was like companionship. You know, our relationship started talking, getting to know each other, and we both were in the military. Common interests, common goals, and that's how that happened.
Looking back on it, do you feel like you were ready?
I don't think this is what I have learned in life. I remember saying, oh, by 25, you should have 2.5 kids and you should have a house with a picket fence. I don't know who put those stereotypes out. I don't believe in it. I believe in being happy, figuring out what's best for you as an individual and living by that and standing by that. So I wouldn't say I'm ready or not ready, but I am saying is I'm blessed to have my son.
Cody, Yodi, I hear you. Okay. Obviously, moving forward, you know, moving forward. We get to see you. You know, we get to see you on Ready to Love first and foremost. Now, I won't go into a whole debrief of what Ready to Love happened on there because, you know, that time has passed.
Yes, praise him.
But at the end of that, obviously, you got to connect with Clifton, who we've also seen yourself, Clifton, Joy, in.
So you're going to skip over Donovan? You're going to skip over Donovan, and now I'm in.
Listen, I wasn't sure.
Okay, go ahead. I just want to make sure.
No, I want to make sure. I didn't want no smoke from you again. You know what I mean?
I want the audience to know that I didn't just jump from Ready to Love to Clifton and Joy.
That's true. That's true. I still want to smoke again, but if you're willing to address it, are you willing to address it though?
No. I'm just saying connect the dots. Just don't be like, and you went from Ready to Love to. Because that's what you said.
That sounds like you want to address it, so I think you should address it.
No.
I was gonna leave it alone.
What I'm saying is timeline. I don't want you to say that. Hey, I went from Ready to Love and ended with Joy and Clifton. And no. We got the timeline has to make sense now. You want me to do it? You want me to be the? You want me to be?
No, because if you got to do it, you got to tell us how you felt about the situation.
No, what I'm saying is okay. Audience, ladies and gentlemen, we met Carmen on Ready to Love. She ended her journey with Donovan, and Joy and Clifton ended their journey together. Now, fast forward, right? In between time, they became friends, and now no.
Why is it so important to address the fact that Donnie was involved in the timeline?
Well, because people are talking about the timeline. That's why. People are like, oh, so Clifton and Carmen were an item on Ready to Love. And they forget Donovan was there. Not saying I'm.
She'll come back. I think she had a phone call come through. She'll come back. But if you guys are here, listen, we are interviewing Carmen from Love and Marriage DC. She'll be back in a few seconds. I think she's having a bit of a connection issue. And we are having one of those chop-up conversations. It's got an interesting point of conversation. I think it's quite intriguing. This is, it's like a game of chess almost a little bit here. But we if you have been watching Carmen, you've probably seen her on Love and Marriage DC. You've seen her in the conversation that's been happening recently with Joy and Clifton. You would have seen her in the latest episodes as well. You would have seen her on Fox 5. Is it Fox 5 as well? And also you would have seen her also on. You see her also on. Ready to Love if you watch the series as well. So unfortunately, not you guys saying Donovan got her ass. Unfortunately, obviously she'll come back in a second or two. I'm sure it's just a little technical difficulty, but I'm intrigued. You know what I mean? I think this is one of those conversations where we're trying to. I want to get to somewhere. I want to get to the meat and the bones. I want to get to some depth, in there. I want to get underneath some things, and I think it's quite interesting. As well to try and get to know her a little bit better. So we'll see when she comes back on in a second or two. So if you're here, please do like the live if you haven't done so already. We'd like to appreciate you guys. Share and subscribe to the channel as well. We're hoping to have a really good conversation from here on out as well for the next 45 or so minutes. We're going to address some things. Donnie. Looks like Donovan. We're going to address the Clifton and Joy situation. And also as well, we're going to also address Love and Marriage. Her, I guess her situation now with Joy and where they stand in their friendship as well. So stick with us and we'll be here in a few minutes as well. Okay, I see Carmen's in the background. I'm going to bring her back on. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay, I think we're waiting for Carmen to set a picture, for camera to come back on, and then we'll kick it off as well. So we'll wait. We got you back. Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. You're good with no problems. So obviously, listen, you were giving us a timeline, but I'm saying.
I'm giving you a timeline simply because I've heard questions about the timeline. So that's why I want you to just jump over there. Ready to Love ended with two couples and a possible. One possible couple didn't work out. They decided to choose not to be with each other. And the two couples that decided to move on were Clifton and Joy and Carmen and Donovan.
Yeah.
Now you can go on.
Well, I mean, I do have a question because obviously, some people did say, since you want to address the timeline, some people also were saying that you just chose Donovan because you wanted to get someone at the end. What would you say to that?
Let me make sure I get on these comments. What do you say? You said Carmen only picked Donovan because of what?
Well, someone might say that that you only picked Donovan because you want to get to the end. So I would say, what would you say to that particular claim?
Well, I will say that I had an array of men to choose from. But with editing, it didn't show that. So at the end, I was talking to Paul, Demetrius, Donovan, and Eric. Of course, Eric got eliminated, right? So getting closer to the end, I still had Demetrius, Paul, and Donovan. They never showed a date with me and Demetrius. So you have to understand it's a numbers game, right? So when they have these deliberations with Tommy, the only reason why, you're you're still in the show is because someone has interest for you. So I like Carmen. I like Carmen. I like Carmen. Okay, she stays. And if people say, I don't like, let's say Ace, and it's no problem with Ace. I'm not feeling Ace. I'm not feeling Ace. Then they're like, we're going to let go of Ace. So the only way that I could have even stayed, the women have nothing to do with the men, and the men have nothing to do with the women. Has to be an actual interest. But they didn't show that. So they just looked, it just looked like I had Paul and Donovan. And that was not true. When we got to, I guess, the getaway, I had Demetrius, Paul, and Donovan. And I think Sabrina had Donovan and Demetrius. And of course, Joy had Clifton. And I think Takia was looking at, she was trying to still talk to Clifton, and she was talking to Paul. And then there was the other girl I forgot that didn't show up. What was her name? She just left. Really pretty girl. I forgot her name.
Okay, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. All right. I'm
So
hearing
no,
you.
I didn't
Okay,
hear. So to answer the question, Athea Hill, no, it was not like that. The DMV has a lot of attractive, successful men. However, in my industry, I am around a lot of successful, attractive men. And so I was like, why not go on a show and let it be natural and get to know different people? Some people could be like, oh, a pick me girl. But if you actually come into a show and you're open, that means you have to be open to people who are not your normal type, people that maybe you wouldn't probably talk to, and say, well, actually, you know what? I would never probably talk to you in normal life, but you're an actually good person. You're a nice person. Maybe I should get to know you more. Now, what people don't know, this is like maybe a 2-month process. So literally, you're going on date, right? With production and filming behind the scenes, it's like some people were cheating. What is this? Some people were cheating. So some people were actually dating outside of filming. I didn't do that. So I only went on my dates. Some people were actually going to people's houses, not my business, hanging out. I actually took the process serious. So if I saw you on a date, I saw you on a date. Now, what we were allowed to do was talk behind the scenes. So like you could call and text each other, but you weren't supposed to actually go on dates or go to someone's house outside of that.
I hear that. I'm not mad at it. I hear it. I mean, from your perspective, why did you and Donnie actually end? And
Whew. Um, I'm going to be politically correct on this.
I just want you to be correct.
Um,
Forget the PC. We want to correct.
um, I feel like Donovan was here more for TV. Um, a breakout star, like let me get on this and then do something else. Um, I didn't realize Donovan lived like 2 hours from me, an hour and so from DC. So this is a DC, Maryland, Virginia based situation where it's like everyone should be around 45 minutes away from each other, right? To just get to someone, for Donovan to even get to some of our places took him an hour, hour and a half, right? And that's taxing. However, I just feel like Donovan had other intentions.
I hear it. Okay, I hear it. So, obviously, like I said, y'all obviously concluded events and stuff. I mean, you did. I mean, there was a couple of posts that you guys put up, both of you put up, in terms
What you
of
say?
each other. Huh?
What you say?
I said there was a couple of posts that I saw, that you guys have put up at the time, that you were free and etc. etc. And you guys felt some way about each other.
No, well, first of all, let me clear this up. Okay. I'm a businesswoman and I really don't, I know how to hurt feelings. Let me make this very clear. I know how to hurt feelings. And I feel like if there's any friendship, any respect for each other, there should be a conversation. If you break up and you're like, hey, let's move on amicably, let's move on and do it the right way. There should be a conversation and you move that way. That didn't happen. Right. And so I'm like, okay, well, I think I put a song called, I forgot the song. It was really like extra. But at that point I was just over it because I feel like we could just fade away. You can fade away. I didn't want to go on a bashing session with Donovan. And I don't feel like he should do the same with me. I'm not going to say I wish him the best, but I don't wish him the worst. I just like, go on and I'm going to be on this side.
So tell us how you felt when he did the interview with myself, because I know he exposed some stuff. I want to know.
First of all,
mm-hmm.
I told him not to go on an interview with you. I said, you're not ready. Don't do it. Because Donovan is an emotional person. I said, don't go on an interview with him because he's going to ask you some hard questions and he's an emotional person. That's just what it is. Right. And sometimes your emotions can take over and it can look away or be away or whatever. I said, don't do it until you're ready. He's like, no, I'm going to go on. And between you and your audience, they was firing him up. I was like, oh, Jesus. I'm trying to text him like, don't do it. Don't go into the light here, Land. Stop. I'm like, no. And he's like, so everybody's not ready for this.
That's true. But how did you feel about how he spoke about yourself and his situation?
You know what? I was about to go on Love and Marriage premiere that night. So on the way there,
I made him late as well, didn't I? I apologize.
Huh?
I think I made him late as well that day, didn't I? I apologize.
Yes, super late. And that was a whole situation. Where's Donovan? So I'm trying to watch it as I'm driving to an event where he's meeting me and he has a longer drive. And you put him off his game. You did. That's just the reality. I'm like, I told you not to do the interview, but he did it. I saw only parts of it. I didn't see it all. All I know is the comments was all up in him. It was a murder scene, really.
Did you feel hurt in that moment? Did you feel some way? How did you feel?
Hurt? No, why would I feel hurt?
Because he was late to the premiere. You didn't get to go the way you wanted to go. No.
No, I didn't feel hurt anyway. I could feel that he wasn't happy with the outcome. I felt that. It had nothing to do with me.
Okay. I hear that. I definitely hear that. I mean, listen, I understand as well. I wasn't mad at it. I get it. You wanted to protect him, and so no biggie. I totally understand. I said you wanted to protect him, so no biggie. I get it.
No, I wasn't protecting him. I was just telling the truth. You can't go. Everyone thinks they're ready. Everyone thinks they know something. You have to be experienced coming in certain arenas, right? You can't go in a ring trying to fight Mike Tyson. It's just not saying you Mike Tyson. Don't get excited. But I'm just saying, like, you have to be prepared to have a conversation without getting emotional and letting the audience know how you feel. And I don't feel like he thought he was ready, but he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't hurt my feelings. I told him my opinion. At the end of the day, it's my opinion. He can do whatever he wants to do. I think the audience demanded certain questions to be answered, and He fumbled the ball. That's all it is.
So do you not see that as protection? You were
Uh,
protecting him.
Me protecting him?
Yeah.
No, I don't feel like it's protection because I'm saying I feel like he's an emotional human being, right? So you know who you're talking about. Um, I'm not protecting him because if I'm saying, hey, Kojo's going to ask you some deep questions, be prepared, and you don't take heed to that, I'm not protecting you. I mean, he's an emotional being. That's it. It's not protect. That's not a protection mechanism. That's just saying that I know how he is. He doesn't know how to articulate his response without emotion.
Yeah. But that's a positive, right? You were protecting him. You wanted him not to go and
No,
expose himself.
no,
Why do you have a
no.
problem with the word of protection here? It's a good thing.
Don't try to play me. No, I'm not trying
Yeah,
to
it's a good
protect him.
thing.
No, just like I'm not hyping you up by saying that your interviewing skills are very savvy, right? That's not
Uh-huh.
hyping you up. It's facts. You have been doing this for a long time. You do a very good job. Some people think they can come in, oh, I'm gonna show Kojo. It's not that's not true. Like
Why don't you identify with the emotion? I said emotion, but why do you not identify with the action of you saying to somebody that, hey, look, this might not be the best course of action as you actually protecting them from themselves almost in a sense. It's a positive thing. You were protecting him from being exposed.
I think I was informing him. There's a difference.
Why do you see a difference in that?
Because it's information. I've watched your interviews. You do a very good job talking to people, asking them questions that they're probably not used to being asked, right? I'm informing him, hey, he's gonna ask you some really tough questions. Be aware. And he's like, no, I got this. I don't know if that's protection or is that informing.
Okay, y'all were together at that time, right?
Yeah.
At that point. Okay. So at that time when you were together, when you say, hey, it's facts, you're absolutely right, going on to the show, he's going to ask some questions that are going to hit hard, you're emotional, you should probably think about before you probably shouldn't go on the show because you might not be ready for it right now. That's a form
But
of
okay,
protection.
so let me ask you, what am I protecting him from?
Himself.
I want him
You
to
said he's an
be
emotional
himself.
person.
No, I want him to be himself, but I want him to be himself. So
But
I don't
himself
want
and in his current state though may not have been the best position to come on the show
probably,
myself.
probably.
So that's why I'm wondering why you're almost against the word protection. I'm trying to unearth that particular aspect. It's not the fact that you can't not be protective. I'm trying to understand why why you don't want to think of it as you protecting the person in that instance. That's the
It,
person you care about and you love. So,
you know
well, sorry, I
why
shouldn't say
I
love, but care
probably
about.
think
I'd say.
about that when you're saying it. Probably why I think about that is it's you're not an evil person to protect him from. That's why I'm using inform. Like usually you protect somebody from something that's be careful, beware. Like that person can hurt you. I don't think you can hurt him. So that's why I'm not using the word protection. I'm informing him that, hey, there are going to be some tough questions. I don't think your intention on your interviews is to hurt anybody. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm looking at it a little bit differently. So if you want to use protection, we can use protection. I don't think your intention is to hurt him or anybody on your like interviews. Is that fair?
Yeah, I get it. I guess you
Oh,
have
you,
a
or
different.
you want to hurt somebody? You want to hurt somebody?
No, but it's interesting that you see it that way in a sense,
Yeah.
because it may not be my intention to hurt anybody, right? But
Yeah,
my
you're
the
not
net.
like hold on. IMO, you're not a threat. I don't feel like you're a threat to him. I'm just saying, hey, this is how he asks questions. Be informed. It's not a protection. We've all met. I don't think you are just a journalist trying to get the story out there. You're not trying to hurt any of us, right?
Yeah.
Somebody can come on here, you can say something, and you can, oh my God. Right? And I'm like, yo, he good. Make sure he a Barbara Walters, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, hey, I'm informing him. I didn't look at you as someone where I had to be a bodyguard. But let's get on to the next one. How about
Interesting.
that?
No, okay. No, I'm listening. I'm here for it. It's intriguing to how you think about situations. So I always find that intriguing.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously leaving Donovan behind. Obviously you had another connection with another gentleman as well. Yeah, I thought was it not a connection? You wouldn't class as connection? You in Clifton? You wouldn't class as connection at the time? Would you not class as connection?
Okay, so let me just tell this storyline. Okay. What happened was, I came on. What did they call us when we came on late?
What?
What did they call us? You remember?
Oh,
It was
you in Clifton?
no, when you came in late into the show, it was called
Oh, you was bombshell or something like that. A curveball.
curveball. Okay. Let's say it's a curveball. I came in as curveball. Everybody had met at the sweaty oasis of the mansion, right? So I come in later. I thought it was a good thing. Listen, everybody, I thought it was a good thing. I'm like, yeah, let me come in. But it was like high school. It was like, well, we already started high school. Who's this new girl? Okay, so I come in. Let's be honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest, which I'm always. I came in. I'm not phased, right? My goal is men, right? Who do I want to look for? The ladies are like, hey, let's be friends, and I'm like, okay, hi, but I don't want to be friends because in case we like the same guy, I don't want no problems. But I like problems, but I don't want no problems. So I came in later, and Joy and Clifton were already together. In my mind, they was already together. I was just seeing it when we had the little dinner somewhere, right, where we played Truth or Dare. And but Clifton had told me, he was like, hey, I'm feeling Joy, because you get people's phone numbers and you're talking to everybody and you're like, what's going on? And I'm really new. I don't know people's names. I don't know nothing. So he was like, I do have a connection. I'm like, okay. And then we played the little game and they were like, kiss. I think they asked Joy, kiss somebody you like. And Joy jumped up. Now Clifton's beside me, right? If y'all go back to the clip, Clifton is beside me. She jumped to kiss him. I was like, well, damn. To me, it was like, scoot, like you X out somebody's picture. I was like, okay. So I was like, well, he did say, and so I had a conversation with him after that, and he said, yeah, I do have a connection with Joy. I said, well, you know what? It seems lovely. You guys go on. There's 7 other men out there, right? I'm okay. At first, he was kind of hesitant. He was like, no, I still want to talk. I'm like, no. I have 7 other men to talk to every day. I don't need time to talk to you. So I was okay with that. So people get confused. They're like, well, how's Carmen his number 2? I thought Dakia was his number 2. Let me clarify this. Okay. So I guess the first week, Joy probably was Clifton's number 1 and Dakia was his number 2. Then when I came in, it was still Joy number 1 and I was Clifton's number 2. And maybe Dakia was number 3. I removed myself because I'm like, I don't got time to play these games, right? And so then Dakia became number 2 again. Okay. That's because I removed myself. Not because I couldn't have been number 2. I removed myself. Right. I felt like they looked really happy together. I was like, y'all should just stay together. Why is everybody else trying to talk to you? So moving past that, that's where people hone in like, well, so then at that point, Dakia becomes his number 2 consistently, probably after that, right? So they're like, well, where was Carmen number 2? There was a point that I was number 2. Okay. And then I took myself out. Now, fast forward, I'm still talking to Donovan and Demetrius and whoever else. And Clifton, he was like, well, we can still be friends. And so we would chat, hey, how's your dates going? Da, 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 that type of stuff. And we went to the end, and he ended up with Joy. Congratulations, I ended up with Donovan. And that's where we still became friends, because at this point he's in a relationship and I'm in a relationship, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool. So then, okay, so obviously, even at that point, though, people felt like your relationship with Clifton was a little bit close. Yeah, it would. Yeah,
What point is that? After the show?
yeah. Even towards the end, even well, I mean, even towards the end of the show, if I remember correctly, it's a little bit close. It was a little bit close. It felt a little bit
They didn't
close.
show us on the show together after that one pizza scene.
If I remember, am I remember correctly? If I remember
Yeah, there
correctly,
was no more scenes with me and Clifton after that.
I'm sure there was a couple. Maybe I'm okay. Maybe I missed. Maybe I'm falsely remembering.
Yeah, there
Maybe I'm
was no
falsely
more
remembering then.
scenes with me and Clifton after that point.
Okay, maybe I'm falsely remembering. Maybe it was after the show that you talked about then. Because I'm trying to remember. Trying to remember. No, it was after. You're right. You're right. It was after. You're right. Because then obviously then I think what we saw was pictures, Instagram, the photos on Instagram. Apologies. Yes, you're
Okay,
right. It was after. I
go
do
ahead and look at
apologize.
your clipboard. What's the next question?
Huh?
Look at your clipboard. What's the next question?
No, I don't need to look at that. We're flowing as we go. So obviously, obviously that obviously after, right? You
Mhm.
guys had some pictures on Instagram. It was very close, very cozy. Y'all were going on. It looked like you guys go on holiday or some trip or whatever together as well. It was very, 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 very cozy. So talk to me about this situation. Like, why do you feel like people are? Why do you feel like people had an idea that this was a little bit too close for comfort? Okay, and beyond the scope of a friendship, why do you feel like people had that particular perspective of your situation between yourself, Clifton, and Joy?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you the pivotal moment in this situation. So Joy and Clifton left together. Me and Donovan left together. And Joy planned this amazing road trip, couples trip. And we're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Donovan and I broke up right before the trip. Let's say 3 days. And I'm like, yo, guys, Donovan wasn't responding to them. They're like, what's up? What are we going to do with the trip? Da da da. And I'm like, we broke up. I don't know what, I'll send you my money. That type of thing. Like, I don't know what to say. And Clifton and Joy, being my friend, said, that's messed up. Forget him. Let's go on the trip together. You're not going to sit home, what I'm saying, sad or mad or whatever it is. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't think, beware, don't go into the abyss. I did not think that. I'm thinking, wow, they really being like sincere, nice. And for real, they were. So we get in a car, we go on a road trip. You see us in Friendsville and all kind of stuff. It wasn't what people thought, but we didn't even have the intellect to think that's what people could think. So it became, why is Carmen there? And honestly, we gave Donovan grace. We didn't say, well, because Carmen and Donovan broke up and he is acting funny or stupid. We just was like, okay, we're just going to have fun, right? So we gave him grace. Now we're being labeled as that's the stardom of the throuple or threesome. Was them saying, forget that. Let's go out and have fun. And we did have a good time. So when it's on the episodes and like we've heard it before, we heard it a long time ago, and we just kind of thought it was gonna die down and go away. But then when I started doing PR and branding and marketing for them, I'm still there. So they're like, okay, we could forgive that one, but why is she here now? Again and again and again.
I hear that. So because you were doing a PR, that's why you were that close to the couple at the time. You know.
So what happened was, um, we finished Ready to Love, and there was a lot, like Ready to Love, the reunion, it was spicy. And a lot of people didn't like Clifton and Joy because they came at Dakia, right? And made Dakia cry and all this and that, right? So after that, we had saw Love and Marriage, and they already had been thinking about getting married. And so it was like, I said, why don't you just be on Love and Marriage? Because I feel like people were trying to say, y'all mean, why y'all doing this, da, da, da. And so Joy was in Mexico at this time. And she was like, okay. So I said, so where you saw me and Clifton by ourselves was Joy was in Mexico. So I said, okay, Clifton, I'm going to introduce you to the who's. I'm going to put you in the rooms that you need to be in. We had a whole timeline and a plan for them being on Love and Marriage. When Joy came back, she was going to sit in nice, with the fur on, whatever she need, you know what I'm saying? Come in and it happened exactly how we planned it. That was the plan. Of course, I'm not in a relationship. I'm not married. I said, okay, well, I'll come in sometime as your friend, right? Because you have friends of the show. You guys do it. And then at that point, before that, Clifton was like, I want to propose to Joy. I want to do something special. Well, I'm on Fox 5. I'm on a lot of different shows. I said, let me talk to the producers. Let me see if we can have you all have an engagement on the show. So I had told Joy on the side, I said, hey, they want you to come sing. That wasn't it. It was a proposal. So we planned it all out where she would come, she thinks she's singing or whatever. And he proposed to her on the show. And that was also a plan, me doing PR, to have them go viral. So they would send me the video. I would hashtag Carlos King. I would hashtag Own Network. I would hashtag this. So it's not coming from them. They acting like I didn't even know that happened. Who? No, I was doing that, and it still buzzes through them, right? And they're like, "Who's this couple?" Oh, I told them to be with Arena and Jamie. I told them to go to this place and that place and that place, right? It was all a plan. And at that point, they were in love, and they were like, why not move from Ready to Love and Marriage? It just made sense. So I'm like, this is how it works, and this is how we should do it. And I did it.
Okay, cool. At that point in time, how would you describe your relationship with Joy then? Because clearly, you look like you and Clifton were cool. But how would you have described your relationship when you started PRing? What was your relationship with Joy at that point in time?
So, to be frankly honest, I told you before, I was not friends with anybody on Ready to Love. That was not my purpose. My purpose was to find a man. Okay. So me and Joy didn't become social and talking to each other until after the show when she was in Mexico. So literally when the show ended, let's say 2 days later, maybe 4 days later, Joy went to Mexico. It was not a long time from then. And so Clifton and I were still talking, and he was like, you know what? Have you talked to Joy? And I said, no. And so me and her started talking to each other that way. And we would FaceTime each other, call each other, blah, blah, blah. Because I don't feel like it's okay to be friends or work with a man or the opposite sex without having a relationship with their partner. I do not agree with that. So I'm like, if I'm going to have conversations with Clifton or us be friends, I have to be associated with Joy because I feel like she needs to feel comfortable with the situation. So me and her were talking, going back and forth, and she was fine with it. So we had a cordial relationship. And she was like, I'm coming back here, I'm coming back then, whatever. I didn't realize it was several months that she had been gone. But when she came back, we made sure that she felt like she was at home.
Okay. I hear that. Sorry. So obviously, moving on then to Love and Marriage DC. You're the one. I'm guessing you're the one that kind of brokered that. I want to know, was it you or Ashley? I'm just trying to figure out because.
So let me break it down in different levels. Okay. For the common folk, right? To get someone the attention they need, you have to make them go viral. You have to hashtag, you have to at all of the people that you want. If it's Coca-Cola, if you want Coca-Cola to be able to sponsor whatever, you have to do that. So when you all saw Carmen always in pictures and videos, Carmen really was behind the scenes. And then we would take a picture. So if you go to TikTok, you guys go to TikTok, or even their page, there is a video of Clifton and Joy, and they're all in yellow. On TikTok, it was probably 150,000 views. Probably same, somewhat similar on Instagram. I was the one taking that video. There are different other videos and pictures that I'm behind the scenes taking pictures. That was me doing my job. I was hired supposedly initially for Joy and Clifton, but Clifton is the one that took the contract. Joy backed out of the contract. Okay. So I was taking pictures and video for them to promote them to be on Love and Marriage. They just didn't. And what got me upset is, oh, they just reached out and was like, y'all popping. No, 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 no. No, that's not what happened. There was a plan to get them on Love and Marriage. And I don't have any problem because I feel like they were the ideal couple of love. And I feel like Black people need to see Black excellence in love. So I was all a part of that. So really, I should have been behind the scenes, but sometimes I was in the scene, but it wasn't as a third person, a third party, a couple, a throuple, or nothing like that. I was trying to promote them where they are right now. That makes sense?
So just to make clear, you are very much a part of the process, very much a part of them being able to be seen. And
so I did the part to get them. So for example, when Joy came back, I said, you need to go out to dinner with Arana, Jamie, yourself, and Clifton and go live. And people were like, oh, they from Ready Love, da, da, da. Okay. You need to hang out at all the barbecues, all the housewarmings, all the baby showers with Joy and Clifton, Ashley, Quick, whoever it is. This is all a plan. And it's not deceptive because that's how you do in marketing and branding. So it's not a deceptive thing.
Positioning yourself.
It's positioning yourself, right? So we planned all this. So where I say is I carried the ball. And then Ashley was like, I'm going to put her in with Carlos. And Arena probably said, I'm going to put her in Carlos. But guess why they even saw or they were seen? It was because I carried the ball here. And then they were like, oh, look at them. I'm so sorry. No, they just didn't magically appear. I put them in a position for you to look at them. You know what I'm saying? So there are different positions. So I carried it here. I passed it to Arana or Ashley, and then they carried it to the next section, which was Carlos King. But it was already out there.
Okay, no, I definitely hear that, and that makes sense. You got the ball rolling in a sense, got them an exposure that got them to be able to be seen enough to even be able to have the opportunity. Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. All right, cool. So obviously, at this point in time, we get to see for 2 seasons on Love and Marriage DC. I think I watched the first season, but I don't remember as much. But second season, obviously, now we've been watching it, following it closely and stuff. At second season, how would you describe your relationship with Clifton and Joy at that point? At the beginning of the season, how would you describe your relationship with them? Because, obviously,
you're talking about this season right now.
Yeah. How would you describe
your clip? You don't have a clip for me?
No, I don't have a clip for me. I thought you would know without you have to do it. Why would you need
to
say what you felt?
I'm kidding. Well, first of all, I'm not a main cast member, so I'm like, why is my name being said so many times? So that's kind of weird. I saw some of this stuff coming, and I'm like, this is not what I want, right? The first scene that I really was on, or I'm so sorry, you guys, when I say I was on, my name is being said in several scenes where Carmen's not there. I feel like it's a little disrespectful. Because my mama said, call somebody up or meet them on the street, right? You don't just keep talking about somebody and you're not saying it to their face. So the first scene when they are in the wrestling match or whatever, I was upset with two people. I was upset with Jamie because Jamie said I was an ex. And I've never truly dated Clifton. We were on a show that put us in an environment with cameras, and like we never dated. So when you say someone's ex, that's huge. I'm like, I'm not his ex. Like, we were on a dating show. If that was true, all 7 of the people I dated could have been an ex too, right? That's not fair. So I was like, why would he say that? But then I was upset with Clifton because he was just like, and they were like, yeah, you the man. He was like, nah, it's not like that. No, shut it down. Shut it down. Don't be like, ha ha ha. And she framed with joy. No. How about this? Carmen is about her business. She has helped us out, and she has a man. How about this one? She has a man. That's the one you need to say. Because as long as people think I am single, I'm a seductress, and I'm trying to get him or any other man, they're going to look at me differently, right? So how about just say, you know what? No, guys, okay, yeah, cool. But no, we all cool, and Carmen has a man. That has not been said. What keeps saying is, no, we cool, and you kikiing. I would never allow, and Clifton knows how important my business is. And let me make it very clear. I have worked with multimillionaires, legends, and they have never had any situation like this. So my business is very important. And when I talk about my business, I talk about my son, because I'm taking care of my son as in college. I'm a single mother as in college. So I'm like, integrity is so important. So when he is not saying, no, I know it's funny, Kiki, but Carmen's not like that, and then double down with she has a man, he never says that. So I'm disappointed. Like, shut it down as my friend, like, protect me. Now we're going to use the word protection. Protect me. And he did not. And then we go further on, and they keep talking about my name throughout the whole series. I'm like, what's going on?
So okay, obviously the show's been on for 3 seasons. This throuple situation has been going on longer. I mean, not longer. It's been going on since the beginning. So, you know, at what point did you start getting frustrated at the throuple comments when it's been going on since the beginning of the show? If I'm correct, if I remember since season 1, since season 1, but since obviously season 2, sorry, when they joined. Apologies, I said season 1.
So what's sad is that my mom taught me having intuition and certain feelings. And when it started, the little throuple and stuff, I'm like, I don't like that. So I asked Clifton, and my man asked Clifton, because my man knows Clifton and they've been around each other and we've hung around each other and we've been on vacations with each other. He said, are you going to protect your friend? That's what my man said. And Clifton said, I will protect Carmen. He said, this is not a good look for her. I'm on the mayor's cabinet. I'm on boards. This is not a good look for her. Clifton said, Carmen, he said it to me, I got you. He said it to my man, I got you. And then I see it on a big screen where he's like, ha, 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 ha. I'm like, shut it down. This is a different arena. Like, I'm not just reality TV. I do stuff for the community. Like, stop it. So I saw it a long time before it came. And I asked my friends, Joy and Clifton, to shut it down. Now, mind you, from the audience right now, they're like, well, they said it's not happening. It's not happening. But are they shutting it down? Are they saying without a shadow of a doubt, this is not happening? I don't think so. For Arena to have the ability to have 4 scenes with the intuitive psychic / therapist, with the lizard at the aquarium, at the WWE, how many scenes you gonna have about us being a throuple? Or is it a storyline?
Okay. Someone might say, well, before, obviously, I know you said you might have a problem with it, but
and Jay, why shouldn't I shut it down myself? Because right now I look like the seductress. So whatever I say, nobody's going to pay attention to. But the wife and the husband can shut it down. Me, if I say it, they be like, girl, she just talking stuff. That's why I didn't shut it down.
I mean, you could have shut it down too. I mean, you could have said, listen, hey, this is not a situation. I mean,
hold on, pause. I'm going to tell you why. I was not invited to any of those scenes. Think about it. The WWE scene, not invited. The aquarium scene, not invited. The scene with Joy and Clifton, Joy and Arena, I was not invited. So how am I going to shut it down? If I'm not invited, but everybody talking about it behind the scenes.
of course, obviously, I don't know how editing works, but obviously, we don't know what editing's doing. But I think that potentially in your scenes with Clifton, maybe a shutdown would have happened in that scene. But I don't know how they edited. So again, they might have edited that out. Your conversations with Clifton. I mean, take that.
Okay, Kojo, yeah. Calm down for a second. How about this? Tell me how I should have shut it down based on all the scenes you've seen that I was not a part of. So I'm just learning about the scenes now. Where could I have inserted myself to shut it down?
I mean, obviously, I guess obviously, you're in that particular sense. I understand what you're saying, right? You're saying that obviously you had a conversation beginning of the season. Is that what you're saying? Beginning of the season, you had a conversation.
No, what I'm saying is, if I don't know about the WWE scene, that was all men. Mm-hmm. How could I have shut it down?
Okay, so just to clarify, you had a conversation with him about shutting it down at the beginning of the season.
No, before the season even happened.
Okay, so before the season. No, but
happened, I'm saying personally, what actions could I have done to shut it down?
Now, I know you're not asking me as a PR person. I know you're not asking me.
No, I'm saying based off of what you see, meaning the WWE sign, WWE event, women weren't there. So I was supposed to.
No, you can't shut down those situations. But so I'm saying, okay, you can't shut down those situations. It's already been filmed. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's already been done. We can't shut those situations down. What I'm saying is, but you know how you can spin this to correct this. But before I even get to that point, I gotta say, I just want to be honest with you, okay? All right? You ain't stroking my beard the way you stroke Clifton's beard.
What?
Huh? In that scene, you ain't stroke my beard the way you stroke Clifton's beard. Huh? When I saw you didn't stroke my beard like that.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? You told me you wanted to shut it down, but you out here grabbing out beards.
Well, first of all, if it was, let's be honest, if it was a woman's line and it was weave, I would have stroked the weave. If it was a suit line, I would have rubbed up on the suit. Let's be real. That's the product is the product. The product is a beard oil. Now, mind you, I'm going to say it. When you are the person, you're like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. Okay, that's true. But the reality is, it is a beard oil, right or wrong.
It is a
Okay.
bit old, yeah.
So what you didn't see is, hey, smell it. What do you think it smells like? I'm like, oh, it smells good. How do you think it's softer? I'm like, yeah. You don't see that part. You don't see that part. All you see is me stroke. Well, pause. All you see is me touching it. But it's a product, right? So regardless what the product, if it was lotion, I would have put it on my hand. If it was, like I said, hair, I would have ran my hands through it. I know it looks crazy, but our friendship wasn't like a sexual friendship, so it didn't mean anything to me touching his beard.
I'm saying, listen, first and foremost, it should never have been done on camera. Yeah. Listen, if you really saying it's a beard oil situation, let's be honest, it shouldn't have been on camera. Because you can't control how they're going to edit it. Right? Should have been off camera. Said, okay, that's the product. You could have just said, listen, it looks shiny, it looks sheeny from my end. That hand that you grabbed him with, that gave off more than just trying to feel if it was beard oil. I can't lie to you, it was very comfortable. I know you might not feel that way, but it was very comfortable.
I received that. I received that. However, it was not intentional to be anything than what it was. But I received that, and looking from the outside, I could see how that could have been taken.
I mean, I guess that's also what fuels then him not stopping it, and then obviously things like that. That fuels more of those comments about the throuple situation and being too close.
Whatever. Whatever.
You know. I don't know why you playing. You a grown ass woman.
You know what? Only child.
Come on.
I don't even think like that. Honestly, it's and this is just being 100. I don't even think like that, but I can see how other people think like that, and I respect that, and I receive how they look at it. Me and Joy have talked numerous times. I would never want her to feel uncomfortable.
Did she ever feel some way? Did she ever express to you that she felt
no,
a bit too close?
No, she's never expressed any way that she has felt uncomfortable. And my boyfriend, he's coming back up, but I've sat down, Joy, Clifton, me, and my boyfriend, and I said, is there anything that's weird? Anything that, like you want to say? Because, when you in it and you joking and ha, 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 some people might be like, y'all too close. Y'all too friendly. Y'all too kiki. And sometimes you got to be like, really? And you got to receive that. That's why I'm saying when someone says they receive it, they're like, they may not have thought it, but they're receiving what you're saying. And then they can like break it down and be like, baby, come over here. I was talking about, we had a conversation with Joy and Clifton about
hello, Captain, you right?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I didn't say you're good.
Good.
I was getting good to see third degree about touching Clifton's beard.
So that threw me in here now. And the best part was
this is the best part. You know what? I'm liable to ask some questions. Good to see you, Captain.
Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't been introduced. I do apologize. My name is Kojo. I don't know your name, Captain, at the moment. So let me.
My name's Ray.
Ray, pleasure to meet you, Captain.
You from London?
Yeah. Born and bred in London. Yeah.
Okay, my family's from North London.
Oh, okay. I'm South.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. What part of North? Do you know what part of North London they're from?
They're on Tottenham.
Yeah. Okay, calm. Yeah, Tottenham. Oh, they're doing rough there. Yeah, Tottenham. Easy place, you know. Shout out to them. Thank you, Ray, for joining us as well. I would love to get your perspective.
Time into the beard.
I asked. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, no.
Man.
I have to go to the potty.
Okay, fantastic. Go to the party. She gonna leave
you
alone.
Don't try my baby.
You left it to me. I don't know what you want to. You don't want to inform him. You don't want to let him know who I am before he starts.
No.
Anyway,
No,
so I want to ask a question though.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Do you saw the part where she grabbed his beard?
Yeah.
Okay, I want your honest opinion.
Honest?
First thought. I'm not talking about what she explained to you later on, because of course we all see things in an angle. But when your
Yeah.
first initial thought of the grabbing of the beard,
Yeah.
did you think that was a little bit too much?
Yeah, I mean, because I'm a jealous boyfriend, so yeah, I think there
Same here.
was. Um, it's a little bit, it's a difficult position because I know who she is.
Yeah,
And I know Clifton. I've been out with them numerous times. I don't feel uncomfortable with both of them.
that's fair.
But just initial reaction, if she touches any man, I'm going to feel some type of way. And anyway,
That's real.
so she talks to somebody too long, I'm going to feel some type of way.
That's
So
real.
that's just my natural jealous reaction. But I will say that I have been around both of them, and I've been around Clifton a lot to know that he's harmless, and I know he has no malicious intent. I know he doesn't give me that kind of personality, nor does she. So I feel comfortable because she makes me feel comfortable based on that. So
That
that's how
particular
I feel.
scene, were you comfortable with? I think they do a toast or something like that, or like they did some, and there was a comment. It was like toast to. I think it was like toast. Was it toast to
Oh,
sex
okay.
or
I
toast?
think I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like I said, every friendship is different. I will say this: if it wasn't for her transparency with the phone, she literally lets me hear every conversation. She literally lets me see if she leaves the phone, she leaves everything. She leaves me comfortable. Clifton also has not made me feel weird because I spoke to him numerous times. He doesn't give me that kind of personality. I've been around numerous. I know men very well. I know I'm from New York, so I know people very well. I study people very well, and he doesn't give me that, and nor have their friendship. Is their friendship different? Yeah, it's different. Is it my particular? No. But she has made me feel comfortable in that space because she's transparent. I mean, there's so many people that play this role of, you know, acting as if nothing is happening, and then you catch them later on. She literally leaves her phone open. She lets me hear every dialogue, so I don't feel uncomfortable based on that. She makes me feel comfortable, so that's why. And honestly, Clifton has not made me feel uncomfortable based in that space.
that's fair. Listen, I'm from a very dark place, so it's very hard for me to
No,
maybe
and I
hear it.
get
But
that. And I said, as a
yeah,
man, I'm naturally jealous. If she talks to someone too long, I'm
that's
jealous.
fair.
So it doesn't matter what it is. But if she wasn't so open, there would be a different dialogue. So, I wouldn't be still here to this day if I felt uncomfortable with everything, what everybody's saying, whatever. She made me feel comfortable. And I think that's the main thing is as long as she makes me feel comfortable, she makes me feel safe in the space. I felt some type of way. Trust me, I'm a good investigator. I'll find it. I'm gonna find it before the rest of the bloggers and everybody on Facebook and Instagram. I'm gonna find it before everybody. So if there was there, I would have caught it before everybody.
That's fair. No. Listen, I respect that. I respect that, and I respect the fact that you can even keep that honesty as well in terms of how you feel. Because I think it's a real thing as men. We do feel some type of way anyway. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely hearing that.
Like I said, I respect everybody's opinion, and I know Clifton for a very long time, and through the whole process, and I felt like there could have been more. I feel like they could have did more. As a friend, I do think that there people could jump in, and you got to remember, I mean, I know cameras, we know editing, we know how we can make things look better than what we want it. If we want a narrative, we could create that. I just think that as friends people can step up. People on the TV show, I've ate with them, drank with them, partied with everybody on that show through the whole process, and ain't nobody ever just said, "Yo, yeah, but what about her man?" Like nobody ever said that. I was in a lot of those spaces. I just wasn't filmed because I'm not into TV like that. But they just somehow just eliminated that space. We're going to create this narrative, whatever we wanted. I think it's just different. I'm not like that. I'm not built like that. I believe if we're friends, I'm built on loyalty. I'm built on that. And that's all I stand for. If I feel like as a friend, I just feel like people should have stepped up and said what the real truth is instead of not doing an interview with you, not interviewing with other podcasts. They avoid certain podcasts because they don't want to talk about this particular subject. So if they felt there was a way, they would have spoke to you already. If there was something, they would have spoke to you. She must feel comfortable because she got me and you here. We all here. We feel comfortable. So,
That's fair. No, I hear that. I hear that. So you feel like they could have done? You feel like that Clifton and Joy could have done way more in terms of just kind of changing that narrative
Yeah.
for.
I think as black men, we got a job. We have to protect black women, especially when there's a narrative that's created, especially a black woman that's an entrepreneur that created her own space, that built a legacy for her son. I think we have a job and we got a duty to stand up, especially people we say we love, we loyalty, we say we stand for them. And then when it gets dark, all of a sudden we want to walk away. We're not answering certain questions. We avoid certain things. We're not cut from the same cloth. I'm not from that. I'm from that. If you believe, the truth, you stand by that. And that's how I stand. I know him from the beginning. He was a friend. I don't know, I'm not going to speak on, and other people, they were friends. I do know that. But I'm different. I'm cut from a different cloth. You stand by a black woman. If you know what the truth is, you put it out there. Don't just keep because you feel like you pop in and you feel away. Don't. It's not for that. We got to stand by black women. And I don't think that people do that, especially a lot of these shows. They don't do that.
Do you think that Carmen has any accountability in this situation at all?
Does Carmen have any accountability?
Accountability, yeah. Does she have any accountability in this situation? Because
you know what I will say, her actions are. This is Carmen 24/7. It's not on camera, not off camera. This is Carmen all day. I will say this: Carmen's not doing it for TV. She's not doing it to be part of the story. And you got to look at the whole thing. A lot of people just know Carmen from the 30 or hour show that's on. I know Carmen from doing nonprofits, being in the community, being with mega stars. I mean, we talk about Santana Moss and DMV area is the biggest thing here. The picture was the biggest thing here. I just don't see someone throwing that all away to be a threesome. I don't see that happening. I don't see. I mean, if you look at her, just being completely honest, I don't think she needs to be a throuple. It's not that easy. It's not that hard for her to find someone if she wanted to. It's not that hard. So let's be real. Would she even? If we use common sense, would a woman of this stature, with all those things, say, "Yo, I need to be a part of a throuple. I'm gonna be a side piece"? That don't even make sense if you really think about it. Now, if we was looking about another girl out there that look a little crazy, don't got her shit together, and I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. But she looked great. I mean, even for me, to get to this space, I'm from New York. For her to choose me I had the lotto ticket. It's very rare any man is going to say no to this. It's not going to happen. Let's be honest. It's not going to happen. So you think a throuple? I mean, I understand everybody want to paint this picture like, oh, Clifton and Joy. She's hot. She's sexy. She's been around NFL players. She's around people with $1 million. And why would she choose to be a throuple with you out of all people? It don't even make no sense. The story don't make no sense to me. Out of all people, she's going to choose him. And she was around Santana pictures and all these other rich motherfuckers. Why you? It don't make no sense to me. That's mine.
Listen, I hear it. I'm just saying I'm cut from a cloth where I've done some things. And women will tell you, listen, no offense to Carmen, but women will tell you the most sweetest of stories and they will do the most maddest of things. Trust me.
No, and I believe
I have a whole channel talking about it. So I know that women will tell you I'm not saying that Carmen is doing this, by the way. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying that people say they wouldn't do something and they do it. I'm not saying that she is. Just saying.
But you know what? I'm cut from the same cloth and I'm a good investigator. Better than bloggers and everybody on this thing. I would have been caught it before anybody.
That's fair.
I'm Snoop Doggy Dogg. I would have been all up on it. I'm intuitive. So it's very quick for me to say, this. If it look weird, I feel it's weird. And I'm going to look into it. So if how y'all feel, I felt 10 times more than that. And I'm going to look into it. Like if you think it look weird, I look 10 times more than you did. I'm like, let me go figure out who this person is. Where he ate at, where he took it, where his last drink was. I do investigations just as much as y'all, probably more, because this is my girl. So I'm gonna make sure. I gotta make sure too. For me to leave New York to come here, oh, trust me, I crossed my T's and dotted my I's before I got here. I made sure, so I know who I stand by. And being on this podcast with you, I'm not gonna look stupid on this with you. I can't do that. You're from London. We can't do that to each other.
No, I respect that. My final question in this particular segment, because I need to ask one or two questions before we get going. Have you also considered that as now you've come into the space also like to defend her and just, you know, outwardly expressing, and I appreciate this, especially because you're right, as black men, we do need to support our black sisters as well. Are you also aware of the narrative that may potentially come out of this situation?
Yeah.
Right? Which is that she's PR, she's coached you really, really well. I'm just gonna be real with you. Have you considered? Because listen, I'm just putting it out there before it
That's
comes
a
out.
good one. That
This
was
could be a
good.
narrative. It could
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah.
I should be over here. Okay, so sorry.
That was, I like that question.
I just want to make sure,
I
you know what I mean? I
don't
don't
know
want
how
to
many
trouble for you.
people from New York. You can't really. I'm a very emotional person, so it's very hard to coach me because I could go off script very easily. So
Okay.
it's very hard to coach me. She's a good PR. I'm not going to doubt that, but she's not my PR, and then she's not. I don't pay her every month, so she's not my PR. Nor do I want her to be that. And nor do I never, if you look at anything, I've never advocated to be on TV or try to be a part of the script. It's not my thing. What I do see is that I see my woman, a black woman, and a strong woman. I'm not going to just watch a rumor and just keep on putting up the story. That's what it is. I have no desire to be on any of these TV shows. I have no desire to be a part of the script. What I am saying is whether me and Carmen were together or not, I see a strong black woman. And for everybody just to sit here and ridicule when a married couple is partaking and no one interviews them and no one speaks on them, but we're going to put those shots over here. It doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel like all the shots is one way and we're not going to go no shots over there. So if I was to do it, guess would the shots be on me or would it be on her? If I was to touch a woman, if shots would be on me, so why y'all not giving no shots to nobody else? If I touch a woman, hey, you look so beautiful, y'all would have space like, yo, what you doing over there? But I ain't see them interview about this topic yet. I'm tuning in too, just like you, waiting to see when they're gonna speak on it. Because it don't feel right to me. Because anybody could have been said something and set it down, but nobody's saying nothing. And you watch the Instagram, they ain't say nothing on Instagram. So when they say it, they leave it alone. They don't even comment it back. They don't make no comments of no throuple. They don't even respond to that. So that's weird to me. That's
they
weird.
don't say, yeah, it is. No, it's not. They just letting it ride.
Yeah, I can't stand for that. Black men, we as our job, if we know the truth, I'm gonna stand by her. If I thought she was lying, trust me, no matter how much investigation everybody doing, I'm very good. I would have caught it. I'm very good. So all I'm saying is we need to spend the same amount of energy that y'all putting the bullets over here, over there. Because I'm sure you emailed or text them and say, yo, let's do an interview. And they didn't respond yet. There's a reason, because they don't want to address certain things. And that's everybody. They don't want to interview with you because they don't want to address certain things. But when you know the truth, I had no problem speaking with you. She told me how great of an interviewer you are. I said, I'm comfortable because I know the truth. And when you got lies, that's when you duck and hide. I ain't got nothing to hide about.
I respect that. I'm definitely with that. Definitely with that. Carmen, let me ask you a quick question then. You know, and I'll definitely ask you guys about your relationship as well. I'd love to know a bit more about that as well, because it's good to see you guys together. I know we've got like another 10 or so minutes. I'm going to keep it to 2 hours. I promised you that. But quickly, obviously, yourself and Joy, it seems like, you know, you two are at odds. Now, forget Clifton. You and Joy seem to be at odds. I saw you on Commission Reviews as well. Shout out to Commission Reviews. She does a great job as well. I didn't get to hear all of it. But yo, I've never heard you go off before like that before. I ain't gonna lie to you. And all my time I've seen you on TV, you know, talking to you on IG, seen you in person on DC, I've never seen you go off like that. So I want to know what
can I just throw this in? I gave her about 20 shots of wine before she did any interview.
Okay, that's what because baby, that was a different comment I've ever heard in my entire. She was going in. I'm saying shots were fired all over the place.
You're absolutely right. And everyone has a breaking point, right? And I think the breaking point for me was that I saw an interview and it was said like, oh, you know, we are in this position because we were popping and they reach out to us. And that's not true. Now, mind you, at any point, I may not get along with someone, but I'm never going to demean their experience, their education, their knowledge on certain things. The reality is, I did help Clifton and Joy get to this position. I did it not only for a position, a job, my occupation. I did it because also I saw their story, I believed in the story, and I was friends with them. For you to then turn around and act like I never helped you was very hurtful. For you to go along with the storyline and say, like, I'm in this throuple, when, let me make it very clear, I'm going to say it one more time. I have never had sex with Clifton nor Joy, or Clifton and Joy together, right? There's never been any sexual chemistry, nothing, right? So as a friend, I just want you to say, this is not true. Because at the end of the day, Clifton is going to look like a player, a man that all the women want. Me and Joy are fighting over him. Joy is going to look like the victim that I'm coming in trying to take her man. And Carmen looks like the whore. Okay, that's unfair. Clifton and Joy have met my mom, my son. They have been in events that I've invited to. I have propelled them in different situations. It was a very hurtful situation to see that at some point that we may not get along, regardless if we get along, you are going to act like I never helped you. I didn't promote you. I didn't put you in places. Now, if we have a whiteboard right here, and the facts is, you will see a timeline of me putting them in positions, me behind the camera, me on the scene, me propelling them, because I really believed in them as a person, as a couple, right? Joy as a person, Clifton as a person, and whole as a couple. And I said, okay, we're going to get you here and then we'll go from there. And at some point, it's like, I don't need you now. And I'm going to use you as a storyline. Because if you take Carmen out, the last episode or so is about Carmen. And it's disrespectful when I said that. How am I supposed to talk about it? Okay, there are people who are watching a TV show, let's say 200,000. Even if I go on every podcast, that is not going to reach at 200,000. So whatever they see on that show is what they believe. And all you have to say is, no, that is not Carmen. She's my friend. Now, mind you, some people are like, but they did take up for Carmen. What they said was, no, Carmen's our friend. What Clifton said, Carmen's our friend, but then he allowed the guy talk to kind of, right? Joy did say, Carmen, we ride or die for Carmen. But also say, I have a man. You've met my man. I've been with him not just a couple months, over a year. So they don't think I'm a thirsty little thought over here trying to get your man. Like, put the facts out so they could be like, oh, I didn't know that. But while Arena is talking to Joy, Arena has met my man. We've been to Jamie's birthday party. We've had drinks. We've had a good time. So what is going on here? So now I'm looking like, wow, they played me. And so the anger came from, wow, they played me. Like, I really wanted them to be like, I wanted us to be a family. I wanted to help you. You help me. We all make money. We all be happy. And, oh, I'm the villain again on another show, thinking I'm thirsty when I have a whole man.
A good-looking man, too. Add that. You forgot to add that bonus. A good-looking man. I mean, you got to add that bonus.
It's my question. So that's where the anger came from. And it came because they kept saying, and enjoy, and I'm like, hold on. Y'all not going to keep asking about Joy and Clifton. And so I was just like so upset about the situation because we had conversations. And baby, I was just telling them before you came, we had a conversation with Clifton.
Yeah.
And we asked him, we were like, hey, it might come out about this throuple. And you said you're not gonna let your friend. What did you say?
Nah, I remember we put on a speakerphone. I said, you're not gonna, you're telling me about how to step up. I'm saying as a man, as you're her best friend, I need you to step up too. I need you to show me that you're gonna be there for her. And he told me, yeah. Literally, he said, I'm gonna be there right hand, because you gotta remember what I mean by that is there was a time we had a space to talk about this. This is maybe April. This is like April. And this is April last year. And then we had this talk. And he said, yeah, I'm going to shut it down. And I didn't see that. So that's why I have a different kind of energy for him. I understand the fans and different people. It's different for me because you told me your word that you would speak on something and I ain't see it. And I see the comments, I see the text. I don't, and nobody, at no point you shut it down. I mean, you a great interview. I know you reached out and why nobody answered?
Well, the thing about it, let me make something very clear. What me and Clifton's friendship was weird. It was weird, right? Because we always laugh and kikiing around each other. And it's like, why are y'all laughing and kikiing around each other? But I mean, when you're in it, you're like, we're just having fun, like kids. So I went to Joy as a woman and I said, hey, how do you feel? Is there something you want me to change? You want me to like, I want you to feel comfortable. And she says, no, I have no problem with you. She was like, it's Clifton. She's like, I have to talk to Clifton. I said, but what can I do different? What can I do different? Like, I don't know what, I just want her to be comfortable as a woman. I know how it would feel if my man is kikiing with somebody. I'm like, you gonna stop kikiing with her? I don't know why you keep kikiing her, right? Yeah, so I would have but see, I'm a different woman, right? I'd be like, yo, you gonna stop kikiing with my man. So I was like, Joy, what's going on? Do you feel any certain way? Are we cool? Whatever. And she's like, no, Carmen, we cool.
But besides that, I spoke to both of them. I spoke to Joy and him about the whole situation.
On the yacht.
On the yacht. I spoke to both of them and I said when I felt weird. I spoke to both of them. I feel weird a little bit. Let me speak on it. I said I feel weird a little bit.
He did say, he was like, well, since nobody's saying nothing,
I'm gonna speak on it.
I feel weird.
Yeah, I feel weird about
y'all stuff is weird. He called me and Clifton out.
Yeah, I did. And that's being honest, I did. But you know what I realized? I know there's vultures out there and there's hungry people out there. He not like that. He very tender. So I knew he wasn't trying to be aggressive with the situation. He's not like that. He's soft cuddle. He's not like that. I felt in a sensitive space with him. And I felt he was a good guy. He was. He made me feel safe. He made me feel safe too. He did. He did. He's a very tender guy. Very tender.
So that's an interesting situation. So at that point, is that near the April time that you guys are having that conversation?
March, I was on a boat and I spoke to him. I spoke to both of them.
So let me make it very clear. Let me make a couple things very clear. I met my handsome man.
I was waiting for that.
On Facebook dating, right? After Ready to Love, I'm like, pfft. And I'm at home. I'm like, let me get on Facebook. I met him on Facebook dating, and the first time he came, he's from New York. He came on the train to meet me. Guess who I was having a meeting with? Clifton. So the first time I met Ray, Clifton was there. That's how long that he's known Clifton. Mm-hmm. So then we go on a yacht trip. You guys will see this later. And all of us are on there. And we probably traveled together for like 7 days or something like that. Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of conversations. And that's where some of these conversations were like, hey, how do you feel about this? Are you comfortable with this friendship and so forth? That was the most, that was a great time because there was no distractions or anything like that. And everything was cool. And no one had a problem. Ray is the one who actually called it out, like, yo, this is weird. Yeah. Excuse my language, this shit is weird. Y'all too friendly, right? And I made a joke. I'm like, the light skins against the brown skins, because me and Clifton and Joy and him are light skinned. And so we had a lot of conversations, but at the end of the day, we wanted to make sure everybody was comfortable. Mm-hmm. I actually wanted to make sure everyone was comfortable because this is my man and he was my client. Clifton is my client and Joy is his wife. So I'm like, I don't want no problems. So why don't we just have a conversation, all of us together, and figure it out?
Yeah. But now I felt comfortable after leaving that space. I felt very comfortable. I'll be real. But he fucked up that day. He should have, in April, He said he gave me his word that he was going to stand 10 toes down. He ain't do it. So I don't rock with him. I protect black women. I don't care what anyone says. If you say that this is somebody that you stand by, friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't give a damn. You stand 10 toes down. I am very loyal. I'm going to stay by that all the time. I'm going to stay by his side. Trust me, y'all not going to find nothing I ain't find out. You won't find nothing before me. I'm a good investigator. And I know
FBI
for sure she ain't did nothing. For sure. But I would love to see you interview them, to see them and see their reaction, just like this. Natural, like we natural like a snapper right now. We feel very comfortable over here.
What I will say is I don't like that friendships, partnerships, relationships get to this level. I don't like it. I feel like everything should be a conversation. However, if we want to test the waters, I do have receipts and I do have witnesses for everything that I say out this mouth. So if anybody want to try me, catch me outside. I have no problem. But what we were talking about is the conversation with Kamisha. That situation, it was a really hurtful situation that you helped someone and you really try. I don't feel like we have to be crabs in a barrel, honestly. I feel like I uplift you, you soar to the sky and do great. And God is going to bless me. That's how I look at it. So I don't understand how we are at this point. When all I did was try to help you. And I believe in their love. And that's why I'm like, there's no throuple. I want them to be happy and have an amazing life.
I definitely hear that. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I will reach out to them to see if I can get them on here to get their part of the story as well, because you know let's get both sides of the story.
You gotta post. If they don't respond, you gotta post it. You gotta post it. Don't. You gotta do this. If they don't respond, you gotta let the fans know they didn't respond. Please don't make it seem. Don't keep it undercover. Put it out there. They didn't respond.
I mean, I'm not mad at it. Listen, I want to get both sides of the story.
And Kojo, I once again PR. Kojo was coming in town. Was it 2 summers ago, Kojo? Kojo was coming in town. He's been blogging and cutting throats for quite a few years, right? I told Joy and Clifton, I'm like, yo, let's meet Kojo for brunch.
Yeah.
And Kojo has been around me, Joy and Clifton, in DC.
I've heard great things. I mean,
I'm just saying.
It's not Kojo we're questioning.
I
Kojo
put that together.
I want your smoke, bro. I don't want your smoke, bro.
No, what I'm saying is he's been around our energies.
I'm not involved.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm with you, Kojo. I understand where you're coming from, but I stand with her, and I know I would never put myself looking stupid if I thought something different. So I get everybody's different opinion. And I know them very well. I was around Clifton, Joy, Jamie, Arena. I've been around all of them. Bought them drinks. We partied. We all hung out. So to act like, and we got to think about it.
Joy was there.
Yeah, they all were there.
No, with Kojo, it was Kojo, Joy, Clifton, me, Sean, and who was the other lady?
On his side.
Seaway.
Yeah, we were all in DC. And then if you're talking about the yacht we were on, it was me, my man, Joy, and Clifton.
But we continue to party with them after that. We've been on.
I'm just looking at the comments. I
partied with them a few times. I got receipts too. I partied with because I never wanted to be in front of the camera. I took pictures of them. I was supporting. I'm like, yo, do your thing. This is not my thing. I'm supporting what y'all doing. I love what y'all doing. It's not my thing. I always support it. So to see this come out like this, it's different. It hits me different. I don't care what anyone says. Black men, we have a job. If we see it's weird, we got to stand by a black woman. Period. That's what I'm going to advocate. If men don't do it, that's on you. But I'm staying behind her no matter what, because I know the truth, and I'm not falling for the bullshit. I'm not going to do all the weird shit. I'm standing by it. If I know it's weird, I'm staying by it.
Kojo, what is the real questions you want to ask? Because you've been soft tonight.
No, I thought he was
Listen,
he's really...
pause. Listen,
Listen, baby taught me pause. I'm like, why you keep saying pause? Anytime you say something that sounds questionable.
Yeah, apparently when it sounds a bit suspect, you gotta say pause. They got me onto that as well, and I'm not here for it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say some suspect things by mistake. It's not my fault. But no. I mean, I guess obviously. I don't have any questions. Well, I mean, first and foremost, obviously, I guess obviously I'm going to be asking about you guys' story. I know I've kind of gone a bit over time, but let me do last 10 minutes or so. Let me get the last 10 minutes or so. Let me get you guys' story. Okay, so I need to understand something. Mm-hmm. Okay, I hope you guys got because I'm going to ask about you guys' storylines, not storyline, but story. Yeah. So obviously. How long have you been together? And I know you guys met on Facebook dating, you said as well. But how long have you guys been together? And what was it that actually drew you two together? That's what I want to know.
You want to go first or you want me? A little over a year. I can tell you what drew me to her. I saw her pictures. I liked every picture. I kept commenting. I said, you're going to give me a shot. I don't give a damn. I harassed her. And eventually she said, all right, motherfucker, come out here. And so I took the train. Bought my train ticket and I headed out. I never even really came to DC. I never had no interest to be out here. I was going everywhere besides DC. It just was too close to New York and I didn't see nothing that was really going. But I kept on bothering her and she gave me a shot.
My version is, okay, we were on Facebook dating. It was December 2022. So we're on a year and 2 months, maybe. Mm-hmm. Is that 2 months? A year and 2 months, right? So he would come visit. Like I said, the first time he came to visit, he met my manager and Clifton and his son, and then we kept going to see each other.
No. I kept coming here. I kept coming to DC.
Okay, I fabricated the truth.
I kept coming here.
Thank you for.
I'm just saying.
I went there once. Okay. I like DC, New York. Okay. So he kept coming to see me. Mm-hmm. Don't interrupt me next time. And so he kept coming to see me and we had a really good time. Mm-hmm. And we got to know each other. But I have a thought like, hey, okay, we can't be dating for so long. Like, is it real or is it not real? Mm-hmm. And he moved here October of 2023, end of October. And we have been together ever since.
Yeah.
And so when we first met, I did not tell him what I did and what I was doing, nothing. So he had to find clues on Instagram.
Yeah, well, I knew you did Fox News. I didn't know you did all this other. I didn't even have the OWN network. I ain't never even knew what the OWN network was until she told me about it. Then I downloaded it. But I was already invested because I already knew about her nonprofits and every other great thing. She did murals and stuff. I was like, I knew her. So what everybody else seeing, they don't know the inside. I know Carmen before that 2 years, 3 years show was on. Carmen got a long resume before that even came out. And ain't like
so I didn't tell him nothing. And then I was like, hey, this might happen. Hey, this might happen. And then I'm like, I'm on set. I'm doing this. And he's like, but he was supportive through all of it. And he really, even on the yacht trip that you will see, he really didn't want to be a part of that.
No, I didn't.
And I was tired of being, I didn't put him out on the forefront at the beginning because I was on a dating show and all that. But at the same time, I was tired of being the single woman at every table or the single woman in every scenario. And I'm like, listen, no, now I have a man. And let me tell you guys, audience, fans, whatever who's out there, Kojo, people don't like me being in a relationship. They want me to be the villain. They want me to be literally, they're like, nah, who you coming with? No, come by yourself. I'm like, why I gotta come by myself? They are so used to me being Carmen by myself that I don't know what it is. They don't want
I think
me to have
it's easy to label. I mean, I look at she got a body. I mean, that's why I harassed her. She got a body. You like, dang. So most women like, yeah, girl, she got a body. She has a sex appeal. So most people like, oh, yeah, there's something about her. There's something off. So people don't really, they're judgmental. In this world of space that we created, they're very judgmental. But they didn't read the resume. They ain't say, oh, well, she was working with Santana Moss. She was working with this picture. She worked with she was with the military and all this stuff. They don't care about the resume. All they see is a vision. Just like now. Right now, people might be judging, oh, he's light skin, got a hat on. It's just because of visual. You have no resume, no scope, no nothing of what I've done, who I helped, what I do. We get a quick image for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we make a judgment. But we don't know what they did.
Nice.
We don't know that back end story of what that person did. But if you look at a resume, if you Google Carmen Felder, there's a resume before the TV show. A lot of these people got their start off the TV show. The Carmen's not like that. That's not like for Carmen. But everybody else, it started on the TV show. So you go, you only see that stuff. You Google her name, you're gonna see other stuff. You won't just see the TV show. You're gonna see everything else under there.
So a lot of people didn't want. They want me single. It's really weird. I didn't even see it until I saw it. They would rather me be single and have me in this position of single, whatever, I don't know. And it's a weird situation to have to deal with because it don't matter who I'm with. They'd rather me be single. They're like, no, your position, your title is this. What do you mean? What do you mean you have a man? No. You don't have a real man? No, you don't have a man. You're Carmen. And they want me in this position. And it's very weird.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, if people want you single, that's not the best thing at all. I don't think that's a nice place to be in. Yeah, that's a situation right there. Okay, I mean, so obviously, you guys, do you guys have? I gotta ask what questions people are gonna be asking. Let me ask it. Listen, Ray, they're gonna ask me a question, which I'm gonna have to ask.
No, you can ask any question you want.
So they're gonna be wanting me to ask this question, because they want to make sure what kind of career or what kind of job you're in. Are you a kept man or are you paying the bills? They're gonna want to know. I'm just gonna go to you. It's better I say it than
no. That's fair. That's fair. No, I have a nonprofit, House Noir. I build self-esteem for children. I teach them how to model. I've been doing it for the last 12 years. I've been doing it in New York for a long time. Y'all could Google it, www.housenoir.org. I've been helping kids for the last 10 years, and I love what I do. Because it's, I'm with children from ages 5 to, and I go all the way to like 28, because people ain't really developed at 28, 25. They still not developed. And we teach them just to keep their heads up high, work with a stance of knowing who you are, feeling comfortable in your skin. So any race, color, don't matter, sexuality. This is what I've been doing for years. There's a long resume on me on that. You can Google it anytime you want. So that's my main profession. I also have a sneaker cleaning company. So that's my other company is drcrisp.com. So I do sneaker cleaning for the last 3 years. So that's my more recent business, my sneaker cleaning company.
Listen, I appreciate it. We're gonna have to get you back on here, man. Just yourself. Forget Carmen. Yeah. We're gonna chop it up because I'm being serious. We need more men like him.
Do whatever you need to do.
Things.
Yeah. I mean, that's my but like I said, I encourage everybody to go to my nonprofit because I want y'all to know this is about building the kids. They're the future, and I'm always about the pressure's very high in grown men for Black men, and there's Black women, but the youth. That's a forgotten topic, and because their voices aren't heard. So I'm always going to stand for the kids because I'm about building them up and making sure they walk with their heads up high. I know a lot of statistics on the youth. So.
I love that, man. I love that. Obviously, going forward, you guys. I mean, is the goal marriage? Maybe you guys believe in, maybe you don't believe in. I don't know, but for you guys, is marriage the goal? Is that the end goal for you guys, or?
I mean, I would say that I'm enjoying every step of the way. I mean, that's always a goal. There's always a goal. That's always a triumph goal. But we step it. I mean, I feel like, man, this feels like a like magic every day. We have a great time. We enjoy each other right now. And what I don't like is the pressure of rushing when we're enjoying each other right now. I think that a lot of people do because they listen to whatever the Joneses. They don't understand each other. I'll tell you right now, she know me inside and out. I know every dot on her body, every freckle, every centimeter on her body, from her hair to everything. Because we rush things. And where we rushing to? Where we rushing? We gotta take our time and get to know and understand.
I honestly, based on, like I said, we've been taught, picket fence and white horse and everything. I feel like you, based on your experiences, based on what you've seen in relationships and your parents and your friends and so forth, you should be able to say, this is what I want. You take a little piece from here, a little piece from there, a little piece from here. And for me, knowing someone is dedicated to me and loyal to me and will protect me. We had heard about that protection word because he had said it earlier, is more important. I don't need to be like, I need to be married by 2020, whatever. I just want to know that we are happy, we're growing, and there's going to be spider webs. And you'll be like, oh, I don't like this. Okay, how can we manage this and whatever? Figure those things out before you get married. And even if I do get married, and when I do get married, it is not going to be 1,000 people. It's going to be.
We didn't talk about
it's going to be 10.
No. We got to do it big.
No,
I got a lot of friends. No. We didn't talk about that.
Call them right now.
We ain't done. We got to be a
right
party. Ain't gonna be no court.
No, there could be an after party.
We're gonna turn it up. Everybody's invited. Everybody in the chat room, at Kojo, everybody's invited. Everybody's coming to this motherfucker. We're gonna celebrate that motherfucker.
Yeah, but the actual wedding should be private amongst people that you talk to daily, people that you talk to who you resonate with, who has the same values.
I think everybody should come up. Everybody should watch what we do.
Okay, well, go ahead and invite Joy, Clifton, and Rain and James.
They can watch too.
Go ahead. No, I said no. They coming to the wedding.
They should come. I need hate too. I need everything. I need all of it.
I'm not.
I respect it.
Kojo, you come though.
Yeah, send me the invite. I'll be there. I'll probably take a plane over there, so never a problem. But okay, so obviously, I appreciate you guys sharing it, and I actually kind of like you guys.
Well, I'm gonna put in a chat so everybody can see my nonprofit, because everybody probably thinks I don't.
Please, because listen, the people are
actually weird motherfucker that just came out of nowhere. So they think I'm some weirdo. I thought I can still talk. I'm just spreading the word about what's going on over here. Oh, they won't let you come. Oh, they won't let you comment.
Oh, probably because I got off. I had to do some things when I got back on.
I don't know. Fuck with you.
Oh, is it up?
No, don't let you comment. Sure.
No, it is blank.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. Probably because when I got off. Remember when I got logged off? Okay, back to me. I'm so sorry. Ray, stop trying to take my scene.
Oh,
we've answered most of the questions already, Carmen. But
okay.
Is there anything else, Carmen, that you wanted to address that we have not addressed so far?
So the last episode, there was what I don't like and I don't respect is that when you have numerous conversations about an individual on national TV and you never have that conversation with that person. So you all saw the scenes with Arena talking to her mom, her husband, Joy. At some point, it did get back to me, and I reached out to Arena. And I'm like, what up? I'm hearing all this conversation. Do you have something to say to me? She's like, well, no, as a married woman, I said, Arena, because I'm a factual person. Have you ever seen me and Clifton do anything inappropriate? No. Do you feel that me and Clifton have done anything appropriate? No. Why didn't you call me? Well, I just thought I was feeling a certain way. And that is not okay. That is bringing someone's trauma from their previous situation, relationship, or whatever, into someone else's situation. You have to understand, we as women, we have this circle of people that we trust. And so you ask someone, you're like, hey, I'm going through this. But Joy never asked it. Guess what? She never asked for an opinion. She was living her best life, singing over here. And Arena decides she want to be at the aquarium. You know, she want to be everywhere, and she want to bring in a psychic and everything else, talking about something. And also, it's a little stalkerish. I'm going to be honest. How are you going to watch? Because those clips with me and Clifton were not Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It was like the 17th, the 24th, the 1st of the next month. So you watching my page. But Joy, let me let you all know, Joy was always in the vicinity, meaning she just left because we all filmed, or she was singing on stage and we're at the bar. There was no secret rendezvous with me and Clifton. So when Joy's sitting there with Arena and she's like, it's because she knew there was nothing that was deceptive. But you have to be careful with friends or people who have gone through things that brought trauma to their life. And so they're like, I'm going to project that trauma onto your life. I have no evidence, no clues that this is what I went through, but I want to tell you, be careful. That is not okay. She brought information that was not requested or needed. And she never came to me. I had to go to her and say, yo, what's going on? And that's what I did not like in a lot of these episodes is my name is being brought up. I'm not in the room to defend myself. And you have no evidence of whatever is happening. So I would say that's not okay. That would be something that I need to talk about or say to people. And I've said something to, and I appreciate Joy saying, hey, we love Carmen. I appreciate that. And also I would say something that we didn't hit on is that I feel bad or I resonate with Joy when Clifton is like, Carmen's taking over the beard oil. Joy had did the she did the graphics, and she had also did the website. She should have been at that meeting. I did not have Joy at the meeting. That was Clifton's choice to not have Joy at the meeting. She should have been at the meeting. And so I resonate with Joy when she may feel a certain way that I put all this work in, and now you're passing it on to Carmen and telling me Carmen's going to do this. That's not anything a wife would want to hear. So I had a problem with that. That's it.
I thought that was good. That was a good wrap up. I thought it was really good.
I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. Yeah, that's my point of view too. I agree. But I told you, this is a little difference. Because as a man, our role, if I am married, my role is to set boundaries, period. Everybody on these comments can say anything they want. My job as a man is to set boundaries for my woman so she feels comfortable. But yet we only targeting one person because technically to y'all, she's single. To the TV world, she's single. So why are y'all putting all this emphasis on the single woman and not the man who's married, took a vow under God, took a vow to make sure that we protect and serve our woman, but he ain't do that. Nobody's talking about that. We just gonna say Carmen, oh, she knows what she's doing. He also is the man. He could have stopped that too. If we gonna say she was weird, let's say he was weird too. Let's say both. Don't say one was weird. You gotta say both of them was weird. Don't say one way. We gotta take it both ways. Because he's the one that's married, but no one interviewing him. No one's commenting about what he did. Nobody's saying none of that. They saying, but Carmen. Why the man don't get none of that? I don't get that. Because what it is, because Carmen got a body. Oh, she knows what she's doing. So we're going to give him a pass. Even though he took a vow to God, he took that vow. He the one who did that. So why didn't he set that boundaries? He could have set that a long time ago, but he didn't. I'm just speaking what men should do. That's all I'm talking about. I'm just talking what men got to do. We could talk about her all day and say, yeah, she was wrong. Her being a business. And maybe some people going to say everything's inappropriate. Not everybody's actions is right or wrong. I can't speak to everything I do. I agree with what she do. But I will say that I know she ain't moving funny with me. She don't make me feel weird. She don't make me feel weird. That's the main thing. She don't make me feel weird. That man has a vow to her. So that man made his wife feel weird. So he need to figure out that. That's on him. But everybody want to point it in one way. And that's why I say everything's biased. The world is very biased. They don't put no direction on the man who is married. It was just crazy to me. I don't see nobody commenting about that. It's crazy to me.
That's true. It is. It's different for men and women. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like I said, I'm reading the comments. It's all good. That's why I was laughing. And just so, because I said, somebody said, what's the nonprofit? It is House of Noir. So HAUS of Noir. French, you already know. He already know what Noir was. So House of Noir. So if anybody want to go see that, it's all good. And that's what it's all about. And I feel like that's what we need to do. We put in direction all on one person. I think it's unfair. And I'm gonna stay right by our side through the whole process. So anybody got any way to feel about it? This is my job. My job is to stay by the person I love and I protect. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, listen. I appreciate you two coming.
I've never heard him be that quiet.
Noir, Noire. Put an E at the end of that.
Just type.
Oh, is it HAUSE?
HAUS. Then
type it.
I can't because they don't let us type.
Oh, the E at the end. House of Noir.
No E at the end of Noir. And yeah, you got it. You know, with an E. NOIRE. You want me to tell how old I am?
Why you got your hat up like that?
Because I was sweating. These lights, it's fucking hot in this motherfucker.
Oh, Haas, as in HAUS of Noir. Okay.
It's a up for Yeah, she got it. Social Bell, you got it. That's it right there. Social got it.
Another world got it too.
She got it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. Listen, look, Ray, it's a pleasure to meet you. You know, it's good to see a fellow black man, you know, on here, you know, articulate himself so well, defend his woman as well. I'm always appreciative of that as well. And look, I would love to have you back on the channel, you know, just have, you know, conversations, even because, like, you know, you're doing such great work. I think that's important to always highlight and uplift as well, you know, outside of relationships and stuff. So I appreciate you coming up on here, you know.
Appreciate that, definitely.
You got a good one, you know, because this, I should say, Carmen. Make sure you treat him right, Carmen. I'm saying for you. Yes, big sis. Make sure you treat him right. Yeah, you heard me. Treat him right. Respect. Okay.
She's about to go cook in a minute right after this interview, so she about to treat me right after.
That's what I'm talking about.
She about to treat me right after this interview. Go chef it up.
We appreciate it. But no, thank you so much again, you two, honestly. And I'll try and reach out to the rest of them to see if we can get them on. I'm sure Carmen will help me because she's, you know, she's got the links like that. She'll try her best. But no, honestly, I appreciate it. And I think you've done a good job in actually kind of addressing everything as well going forward. I will definitely cut up the clips as well so people can get it more smaller and tap into the things as well. You know, you might see a few clips in there that might go a little bit, you know what I mean? So if it does, you know, hey, what can I say, you know? But yeah, no, we look forward to seeing you guys again. Hopefully I'll get to have you guys back on the channel as well. Good luck with the relationship. Want to see it grow, fester, and, you know, go on to bigger and better things, not only just relationship-wise, but business-wise as well for both of you. So continue being the best that you can be. And we support you going forward, and thank you for sharing again your non-profit as well. And Carmen, good luck, best of luck as well in your endeavors as well. Listen, audience. Oh, you want to say something, Carmen? You want to say something? Go for it.
Let me know when you're coming back.
Yeah, probably this year. I'm trying to do a US tour, so maybe you can help me with some places in D. You're in DC? Are you in DC at the moment?
Oh yeah, I can help you. But the others are not welcome.
That's okay. We understand.
No, I'll help you regardless. I'll put you in in good contact with certain people. Yeah, I will definitely.
Okay, I appreciate it, Carmen. Thank you. Listen, Sean wants to say hello. Sean said Carmen looks great. Thanks for coming to visit LBB. He says, but yeah, no. Thank you so much again, and audience members, thank you so much We appreciate y'all for turning up and showing out as well. It's been good vibes, a good conversation, and we will see you again very, very soon. And hopefully we can get the rest of them to come on and share their side of the story now, so we can get all parts of this particular enthralling conversation going forward.
Make sure if they don't answer, you post it. Don't do that.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. But listen, all right, audience, good love, appreciation. We'll see you again very, very soon. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.